we can put our differences aside. And I offer my extension to prayer, and I pray now. Hamni nini hamnya, hamni nini hamnya, hamni nini hamnya, hamni nini hamnya. All right.
Eating the dog. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dog. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome again. Welcome. How y'all doing, man? Hope y'all excited. Welcome to another edition, another stream, another podcast, another live stream here on the Chaos Rain Show. I am the one and only Chaos Rain here. We let the chaos reign. Today, we're gonna wrap up this thing with the tale of Canvas Samuels and this thing about the pink pill, what she write about him and all this nonsense. Now, if you catch the last stream, she already said enough about the brother, which is very expected. Not this alarming, but expected. Because think about it. Black women or any woman generally, they have no skin in the game or any word or any validation to what they consider high value man. And the reason why it is because they don't understand how the process works around here. Most men, and not all men, are created equal or created the same. They build themselves with value in time. And if they've done it correctly, they might get it even more sooner. But then all men are not created equal. You hear this notion constantly. And like any man, a man myself, or any man that will listen to this, know this as a factual thing. Any man that's telling you otherwise said that, all men are equal and all stuff. No, they're delusional. All men are not created equal. There are some that are better, and there's some that are lacking, and some are just downright poor and lousy. So, but other than that, I'm gonna run the tape. This is part 2 of it. If you guys have any questions or any things you want to add on, you could put it in the chat room. Super chat is enabled. Like always, we try to reach a goal that can be attainable. Every stream, every time we go live, we try to reach this goal of $50 or more and support the channel. And one other thing before I begin, I did a poll about this thing with should I go into the books of her confessions, and I have not taken a look at the poll, but since I'm here right now talking to y'all, I'm going to double check now, see what the poll says right now in the community tab. And it seemed to me that people saw the post and not one person vote. So I've came to the decision. I did it anyway to see what if anybody was going to give a say about it. But, me, I do content from where I see what's being put out here. And beyond what's being put out or what's considered trending, I think some I'll have to eventually cover now. But now I won't cover it right now, but in future streams, I will do so. Because PD is a big distraction right now out here in these streets, out here on the social media, out here on the media circuits. And I see a very few men, particularly black men, don't want other black men to hold certain black men that we don't really like accountable, personally. But I look as we gotta be honest with ourselves that this man is weirdo, and we're gonna be serious about holding each other accountable. If we want to go there, we're gonna have to draw some lines to certain people that we said we rock with and with certain people we don't rock with, regardless that it can happen to us. Because we are not the Europeans, the non-blacks. We are black men at the end of the day. And we have to really move in accordance that what is really logic and just, and it makes sense for us. So, no further ado, we're going to get this started. Let's go, guys. Make sure your mic is all the way up, where you have speakers, headphones, stuff. And let's look into this. And this is a very interesting segment here. I'm gonna give some commentary, but anyhow, let's go. Fair use, and enjoy.
Who first? Crystalline, creator of the Pink Pill, self-improvement for Black women.
That's me.
You're in a relationship leading to marriage. There was tell us briefly. There's a old guy who offered you $7,500 on your first date. What's the story there?
Yeah, first date, older gentleman. I told him that I wanted to launch a business, a body care line. And he really wanted to date me, and he said, that's a mitzvah. I will help you. And wrote me a check. He deposited in my bank account. And if, yeah, that might be a little sketch, maybe, but I took the money, yes, and I'm very grateful for it, and we're still friends, and I made good on the money.
What was the strings that were attached to the money?
We dated,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like we didn't
How
date.
long did
we
you
didn't
date
have
for?
a date. It's about 6 months, 7 months.
And
Now, keep in mind, guys, you don't date nobody for more than a week, much less a couple months, without busting wide open. You know what I mean? Clapping them cheeks, like, But you had to give some to get some. Nothing's free in here. Hope, ladies, you understand, and hope you gentlemen know this. If a man's paying some, he wants some in return for his investment. I don't care what you believe that there's a lot of simps out here. Majority of simps out here with money are not simps like that. If they give you money or give you a loan or hell investing in you, they want some in return. Case in point, a good example of this, P. Diddy. I digress. Fair use, fair use.
you like dating is in exclusively dating, or
Yeah.
just catching up here and there?
Exclusively dating.
So it wasn't like a down payment for
No,
a few overnighters?
no. We were together.
Okay.
You said you wanted to touch on the ridiculous gender wars happening in dating and relationships. You authored a book about interracial dating. Is that the Swirl book or whatever?
Yeah, that I gave you.
From a black woman's perspective. It was very sticky, by the way. I don't know why that
Yeah,
was.
I think it was
There's
something in my
lotion,
suitcase. Sorry.
It's all
Spilled on
good.
it.
It might be.
No, it's not that, sir. It's sticky because she was enjoying herself, if you know what I mean. The juices kind of ran through the hands and all parts of, and you have a good idea of the essence. If you feel me, you know what I mean. So if you didn't know, Mr. Whatever podcaster, you're touching the essence of a lady. Fair use.
Interesting to discuss. So the book is called Swirl,
Swirling. Like the ice cream cone.
and you're dating a white man. Is that?
Yes.
And so, what's the book like? Plot synopsis. What's it about?
It was written back in 2012, and black women have the lowest marriage rates, the highest divorce rates. We outnumber black men by the millions, and at the time, black women were 42% single, and everybody was kind of, what are we going to do? 42% of black women are single. And I said, I just got married. I was a writer and very much wanted to write a book. And what better thing than my own experience? Other friends of mine, women, had said, girl, how did you do that? How did you? Because it was just, in the early 2000s, it was seen as something that just wasn't done. A lot of black
Interracial
women.
dating?
From black women, interracial.
Oh, like dating white guys? Or,
Yeah,
okay, I
it
see.
just was a lot of stigma. There's a
That's
lot of
fair.
social consequences that went along with it. And so I came out and said, hey, date the best man for the job.
Does it
And-
work vice versa though?
Absolutely.
Like black men dating?
They do
white
it. They do
women?
it twice as much.
Okay.
Well, actually, I will go even further. And women know this. Why? The question we ask, why is it more easier for black men to date outside and don't have issues like black women? And it's simple, because a man has to, depending on what non-black woman he's dealing with, he has to probably work a little harder to get that attention and maybe do a little more to get things from other groups of women, whether it is intercourse or affection or even what they consider love. It is much more simpler because most of the women, when they see black men, and this has been said constantly throughout the internet, is because black men are unfortunately groomed to be sex bots, sex slaves, something of higher value. And if he's a productive man, is even a greater A plus. That's what other groups of women, when they always, if they're looking for a mate, and if it's not a group, a good portion of them, depending what type of how can I say this? What they look like, they will normally go and shoot their shot. If they're not like that type of woman, they're not gonna shoot their shot because they know they got the attraction to gravitate any man. But at the end of the day, the attraction only goes so far if you can't hold and keep a man. Keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. So they'll date at twice the rate because it's easy, because most women don't really have to do too much to get a black man, because black men are groomed to be such soft little pets. Cause black women groom that way. Y'all know the saying, the notion, the son husband effect, and that's a new word. Son husband effect. How they want their sons to be replacement husbands for the dudes that they've been screwing and giving birth to their sons. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. So black women, let's be honest. When other groups see black women, they're looking at easy lay, easy access, and they'll take it because they have to work too hard. Most black women, let's be honest, constantly will give it up with little disregards. Unfortunate. But I digress. Fair use.
Yeah, they don't need to be told.
And then what about white women dating any other races?
Go with God. Whoever you want to date. Yeah, everybody date who they want to date.
Yeah, and then
and she, in her mind, she has to say it because remember, she has an audience, guys, an audience that is mostly black women and other groups of women. But let's be honest, she's trying to have a more of a female-based audience that's more in her race, black. So she had to sit there, tell them these, stories. I don't know if I want to say lies, but tell them something so they could, latch onto her, to latch on, so that way she could sell products to black women. And let's be honest, regardless of what the percentage said about the interracial dating, it's not as big as we expect. And if it's big, it's also as big as going out the door in regards how much you're staying in these marriage, how long you're holding on to a man. Is the non-black man, Arab, Asian, Caucasian, or Latin man, which Caucasian and Latin are the same, staying within these marriages with non white women? And I did a video on that specifically. You need to go back to the archives and watch that. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
you said that you're one of the rare people who actually went to charm school. You have an argument that women should pick that up again.
Yes. I do think that there has been something lost in terms of the way we communicate with each other, the way that we dress, the way that we speak to people, the respect that we give to people seems to be lost. So yeah, I definitely do think that. Like last week, there was a girl on your show, and she was sitting in the top, and she just like went up to go to the bathroom, and I could see everything. I'm like, girl, do you know how to do this? See?
Careful on camera there in Austin.
Do that. You know what I mean? And so.
Yes, please be careful. No one wants to see the front. Please, you have better class than that. Pink pill, you had to do better. That was very inappropriate. You just did a while ago, but like I said, it's all for eye candy, gentlemen. Don't be so mesmerized. Fair use.
Yeah, I think we could learn. There's things that we can learn. Be more
Based.
civil.
Yeah, not.
More civil.
Are you
Like,
just
what's
talking
wrong
about
with
like
that?
etiquette and
Yes, etiquette. Etiquette is what you do. Protocol is when you do it. And I think that there's a lot of confusion about what you do and when you do it.
All right. You said these are disagreements. I do think that the show doesn't always give a good representation of single women dating. A seeming annoyance with women. I take issue with some of the regressive stances the men take about women's agency in society. What are some of those?
Not necessarily you, Brian. I was hoping Andrew would be here. My main beef was the idea that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. I mean,
Andrew, I forgot what his last name is. Andrew does not want to have a conversation with you. Matter of fact, I would be confident enough to say that Andrew knew that you were going to come on this podcast and he didn't want to waste his time going back and forth for you. That's my assumption. Now, I could be wrong. Because let's be honest, Andrew knows who's going to be a part of certain podcasts, and he could not be there physically. He could be there virtually. But when he saw you be on there, I think he said, "Oh no, I don't think so. That's no. I'm not going to have no conversation." Because I think Andrew already see how you behave, and he could seek you out and know and saying, if you were getting the results you want, you would not be investing so much time and energy on worrying about what black men are doing. Not saying Andrew is going to speak for black men, but let's be honest. Andrew is very talented himself. He sees and smells bullish when it comes to certain females. And he knows what Miss Pink Pill is selling is garbage. That's my assumption. Because let's be honest, Andrew never runs away from nothing. If he find that it's worthy of time to really have the conversation with you, he would have. But he don't see no purpose of it. So you're not going to waste time. That's what I'm getting off. That's my vibe. But anyway, let's go. Let's keep going. Fairies.
That's
That's not my position.
No, I know that's
not my position.
Yeah, so that was
Andrew's
what.
not here,
Yeah, that was
so.
what that's what I took issue with.
Why should they be able to vote?
You're not serious, right? We're not going to have this.
Oh, if you want to have
Are we
the
really
talk,
gonna
if you
do
want to
it?
have the discussion, let's do it.
Really?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Should women be drafted?
No, I said I don't want to be drafted.
Let the veteran
But that's
answer
not-
that
that's-
question.
But
But we're going to keep on, if you're going to do this, we're going to have to keep on the subject. So voting, meaning what do you mean that women, first of all, let me ask you, what's your position?
no, I'm asking you your position. You're the one who wanted to talk about it. I'm happy to steel man it. So why should they vote?
Well, I think that, first of all, it's a bizarre notion that the United States government or any other Western country would ever take a woman's right to vote away from her. It's a nonsense conversation that seems to be clicks for cash kind of conversation, because it's never going to happen.
You're still not giving any reasons.
It's never going to happen. Under
happened
our
a lot of times in the
Constitution,
past, and most countries in the world,
our
women don't
Constitution
vote.
does not allow for that. Our Constitution says that men are created equal. Men and women are created
Right.
equal.
So should we draft women? Should we draft women?
Listen, if you want to
You know, she said something about the Constitution said men and women create equal. Is that true? Let's look it up. Let's see if that is valid. 1 second, guys, because she has made and brought an interesting point. Let's see. Let me look that up briefly. And make sure you guys, before we continue, as I'm doing this, y'all know what time it is. I don't have to say much about this. You know, guys.
I want my money.
I told you.
Where is my money?
Benny. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right. Okay, before I look this up, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, become a member, and please support the channel. All right, let's look. I'm going to pull it up now. Well, I'm not going to pull it to y'all because y'all know what I'm going to do. Constitution. Let's see what it says here. The United States Constitution does not explicitly state that all men and women are created equal. However, this principle is enshrined in the Declaration of Independence and foundation documents of the United States. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. While this statement was originally interpreted to apply only to white men, it has since been expanded to include all individuals, regardless of race, gender, other characters. The 14th Amendment of the Constitution ratified the 1868 guaranteed equally protection of the law to all citizens, including women. So, in other words, no, that's a lie. Kristen, it never really states that all men and women are created equal, regardless of what they said of the 14th Amendment. It is important to note that while the principle of equality is enshrined in American law, its implementations has been a complex of ongoing process. Throughout history, women are virtually minority groups and have faced discrimination and inequality. Despite the constitutional guarantees of equality, the struggles for true equality continues to be significant issue in the United States. So 14th Amendment said they ratified the 1868 law or amendment or whatever law amendment, what you want to call it. So no, it does not say that. Let's continue. Fair use, fair use.
Women, you can talk to President Trump or President Harris, whoever is in charge, if you want to do that. But what we're talking about is, can women vote?
Yeah, so once again, what's the reason why women should vote?
Because they're a human being.
So
they contribute to society.
Okay, let's take it one by
They
one.
have
One by one.
brains.
Human being. Should
okay.
infants vote?
Yes. So, first off,
Hold it into the mic.
women are half of this population. They have a right and they have a say, and they deserve to be represented.
Why?
Because they are half of this population, they are human beings, and our Constitution says that we are equal. And not only that, but society, Western society, this is a regressive idea that women should not be able to vote. And what it would take...
Regressing to what exactly? You're saying 10 things. We need to take it one by one because
Okay.
it's spurging. So regressing to what?
Regressing to 100 years ago, over 100 years ago.
Is that a bad thing?
Yes, it is.
Would you say morally we're better off now than we were 100
But
years
we're
ago?
not talking about that. We are not talking about the effects of women being able to vote and extrapolating that to where we are morally as a society. Because Hitler also happened when women were able to vote.
So if you look at how women vote,
I mean, what do you want to? I mean, what?
No, I just want you to lay out a logical argument as to why
I mean,
women should vote.
we dropped
Because you've
two
said they're
bombs
humans.
on
You said they're
Japan
humans.
when
Hold on a
women were
second.
able
You
to
said they're
vote.
humans. Infants are humans. Should infants be able to vote?
No.
Okay, cool.
People who...
What's the next one? You need to take it point by point. You're doing a lot of talking, but not making too much sense.
Okay.
Women are humans.
But like I said, most women, especially when you hear black women, on the average, they really don't make much sense. They just don't. They just don't. They don't make much sense at all. Most time, even with Dr. Bryant, when she talking about this so-called what she call it, dumb squad again? I forgot now. That's how bad it is. I don't even remember what the hell she called it, but it's like another form of high value nonsense from a woman's perspective. You might know, if anybody know in the chat room about Dr. Bryant, what she call that thing with value and stuff. Put it in the chat room. But yeah, she's saying a lot, but she's not making sense. Cause it's all word salad. It's babble. All that's horse babble. Fair use.
Humans, okay, not a good reason. What's the next one?
No, but that is a human right. That's what I meant to say.
Okay,
It
so-
is a human right to be able to vote. So we can just scratch that I said women are humans. And we'll
A
just
human
say
right to vote
it is a
according to who?
human right to vote.
According to
I
who?
think women should be able to vote, and for the sake of this being clipped, I don't think you're doing a great job at all of explaining why women should be able to vote, because now people are going to see them and be like, that's why women shouldn't vote. They can't make up their mind. I mean, that's not a good job at all. Women should be
thank
able
you
to
for your
vote,
contribution. But let me be
She's
clear.
making more
I
sense than
mean,
you.
Right.
there's
Well,
so many
probably.
reasons I can name. You please do a better job. You're representing women that when this is clipped and people are saying this is why women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, there's so many reasons.
Okay, well, you tell me.
We're a part of this society, and we.
If Miss People had to ask another woman to tell me what you mean, that means all that babble you were saying, all that dumb talk was for nothing. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You should, as a woman that's in her 50s, should pinpoint logically, what makes sense, point, why you should be able to vote and why women and men are created equal. Like this. Well, you see, the conversation is really evident, and you know where a person is, where they stand, if they make some goddamn sense in regards to lay out their arguments, which she is not well in that area, personally. But y'all be the judge. Fair use.
We do make up a big population, but we're also part of the society. We work, we contribute, we pay taxes. We're forced to pay taxes. We go through the education system. We make decisions about our children, and we want the best for our kids. That's why we vote. So we.
Should we take it one by one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, first one. You work and pay taxes.
Correct.
14-year-olds work and pay taxes. Should they vote?
I think the age is 16 to work but.
Should they vote?
What?
How old do you have to be to vote?
18.
Why can't 16-year-olds vote? They work and pay taxes.
Because they're just working and they don't
That's a straw
understand the
man.
system.
You know it.
How's it a straw man?
Because you know that the voting age is 18. So
It's called logic.
it's a cluster of things. So the fact that it is our human right to be able to vote.
No,
the
it's
fact
not.
that we
According to who?
contribute to
You know, you made a claim. You made a claim. You
Mm-hmm.
have to substantiate that claim. Where is this human right?
Okay, so I didn't
Tell
say
that to the people of
but I
Tajikistan.
would say that to
Tajikistan.
oh my gosh, the organization, the United Nations has declared that it is a woman's human right to vote.
No, they haven't. When did they say that?
The UN's also cucked.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
A kindergarten shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah,
A
but the thing is-
kindergartner shouldn't be able to vote, but
You have to take
they're a
it-
part of
take
the
yourself-
education system,
Sure.
just like a 16-year-old works.
Oh wow,
and
you
pays
sound so
taxes,
much
sure.
smarter than I did.
No,
I'm making actual points, so.
Man, where's Kevin at, man? Because these ladies, they be tripping, man. Where is he?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up. God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Yep. Can't make it up. Back to the video. Fair use.
I disagree
Operation
with
Meow.
that.
So yeah,
Can I
kindergarten.
interject
Please,
just for a
go for
second?
it.
So I feel like a majority of the women here are more conservative leaning. If you look at how women vote, they lean more left, more liberal. They make bad decisions in voting. I think that if you want to be able to vote, you have to be up for the draft.
I think that's
that
true.
women should be able to give away
So
that
you
right.
you think that women shouldn't vote? Is what you're saying?
No, I said that women could be drafted. That's what I'm saying.
But do you think that it's desirable to have women fighting in the military?
What
Would
is-
you
what is-
want to? Would you be?
Why not
ask the person
who
was
in
the military?
Sure. Let's go there.
What does that? What
there,
do you mean
Paula.
desirable?
So would you rather be next to standing side by sides on the front line with a woman or a man?
I mean, it depends. I don't want some scrawny idiot on.
A man.
Generally speaking,
Yeah,
A man.
yeah.
The answer is a
if you
man.
wanted to go into battle, you'd want to be with a man, right?
Okay, I just rethought it.
And also, women.
I just rethought my point. Men are genetically stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Men can build muscle quicker. Men have better endurance. But that doesn't have to do with voting, in my opinion, whatsoever. We all have brains.
Well, the
Just
thing,
'cause
I'll tell you why it has to do with voting.
Okay.
Because if you are a woman who is able to vote, then voting gets people into power who can send people off to war, who can send countries off to war. Whenever America goes into war, actually, Australia follows them, by the way. But yeah, so if you can send people to war, have the power to nullify somebody's vote who's older than you and you can have that power, then why should you not have to go to war?
Yeah, but you're making two different
'Cause you're
arguments
born.
here. Like you're saying that if women want to vote, you're saying if this, then that. You're not in any position of power to enforce that. Why are we even having this discussion? What are you going to do? You can't make somebody who wants to vote decide they're going to enlist for the military.
So you're
unless
saying
they
regular.
want.
Now, what's good, Ms. O? I see you in the chat room. Salute. If you want to share, you can share in the on your timeline. Now, the reason why I'm playing this portion is because they're getting in their feelings, especially Pink Pill, about women's rights, including the right to participate in the political process in regards to voting, right? And voting is what considered or what we could say a right. But like any right, a right could be taken away with a swift of a pen. Do we all agree? Okay. So if you were not supposed to be a participant in the political process a couple centuries ago until the 20th century, that tells me you're not supposed to be part of the political process in regards when men of any status or any power make boss moves. You're just a spectator. And one thing I would say, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to offend a lot of people, and make myself bigger. I'm going to do this. I got to do this. After this election, it's going to facilitate how much people, or just Americans in general, how much we really have a say in the bigger political affairs of America. And reason why I say is I'm giving you a snippet clue. You make your own decision what I said just there. But overall, like anything, if they're giving you the right to do something, they could always take away. It's that simple. So regardless of her view saying you can't take away the rights, maybe this man on the podium or sitting next to you might not be able, but the people that run and make moves could if they so desired to. Let that sink in, gentlemen. Let that sink in, ladies. So no, you don't really have rights, anything. Your rights only go as far as if someone wants to protect it or enforce it. But or if they decide to say you will no longer be participating in this political process, much as vote, they could do it, and there's nothing you ladies will do about it. But right now, as it stands, they let you participate in the political process. Let that sink in. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
People shouldn't talk about politics?
No, but what I'm saying is that it's sort of just being provocative, because it's like, do you know what would have to happen for the vote to be of question?
Just remove the 19th Amendment.
And it would be absolute anarchy.
No, they would
not. Women would not.
What are you guys going to do about it?
Now, let's unpack that. What do you mean anarchy? You mean for you ladies? What are you gonna do if men that run things say you're no longer, we're not giving you the right to vote? You ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Stop the cap. Hell, they just rolled back Roe v. versus Wade 2 years ago and leave it to the states to decide what they should do about people or ladies going out and deleting their babies. That's where it is at. And right now you have one lady that the only thing she's selling you stupid ladies is the possibility that they're gonna roll it back and give you the opportunity to go delete your babies freely nearly off the dimes and taxpayers' money. So you could sit there. And I was very shocked because I heard this story years ago and I got a rant for a little bit. So brace up, people. One woman I was talking to, and she told me she knows of a lady. I think they're close friends, right? And she went and got rid of her baby that was roughly now almost due to come out, the 9-month mark. And I thought that was illegal and very much a criminal act for you to sit to delete the womb just as she about to give birth to the baby. But she told me she has done it, and the abortion centers granted it. And I heard stories now on, I think it's with YouTube. There's something circling right now, and a video out right now. It might be a TikTok. Now I think about it, and I can't find it because no one has ever shared that on my Discord. But I'll say this for those that is a part of the Chaos Reign Discord, and it's in the about section, and if not, it's in the description. I'll post it here again. If you find any videos of any information, guys or ladies, that are not only trending but are important, that should be looked at and have a conversation, please share it with me on my Discord or on my Facebook page, and I'll put that as I continue to stream. But overall, a lot of women want the opportunity at any given time, any given day, that they want to delete their child from their stomachs. Whether it's 3 weeks, a month, 3 months, or even at the 9th month, the day the baby should be coming out. They want to have the power and privilege to get rid of it at any given notice. And to me, I call bullish. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. But this is what your BP that's running for president is going around pushing and going around convincing a lot of you ladies that that's the most important thing out of everything else. And if you ladies are running by and going and agreeing to that and want to pick who should be in office just by that alone, you are sick in your head and you need your head examined. And this is why a lot of men really personally say that women should not participate in the political process, because they don't. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fairies.
Listen,
when
women
women are
have
in
guns.
power,
Women have guns.
society.
Women know how to fight.
just
I'm not saying we
Hold
would.
on a second. You talk for long periods of time. You need to shorten that a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
So you said that it would be anarchy. You said
Yes,
all
it
the women
would.
would get up and get their guns. How do you think that would go?
I'm just
for
saying
them?
it wouldn't go over well.
How do you think that would go for the women trying to overthrow the military?
I don't think that they care. I think that in our country, I don't know about
Why don't you
Australia.
answer the question? How would that go for the women if they decided to be up in arms with all of the anarchy and try and overthrow the government and reinstate the 19th Amendment?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in order for the 19th Amendment to have to be taken away, retracted,
Yeah, they pass a bill.
it would have to be a major upset in our political system for there to be a constitutional amendment.
And then what's
quite
going to
a
happen?
few women who would
and then
support it.
what are they going to do? Are they going to vote them out?
Could I add something?
You're asking, you're
If the
bringing
women
up
are so
an
pissed off
impossible
about
scenario.
losing the vote, what are they going to do? Vote them out?
Okay, listen. Tell me under what circumstances would it be possible for women to lose the vote? I really want you to just lay it out for me. What's the scenario?
Sure, there'd be a Republican
No, that's
president.
not what I said. Like, what would happen?
I'm
What would
literally
have to lead
saying
up to
to
it?
you right now. So a Republican president would be elected. He would propose a bill that would go through the Senate and the House that would be to
You gotta
remove
be
the
kidding
19th Amendment. It would go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court would be based Republicans, and they would say, yes,
That's
get
so
rid of that
funny.
19th Amendment, and then the women wouldn't be able to vote anymore. And then the Republicans would get elected more.
And we would all just live together happily, and we would all buy each other Coke and sing happily hand in hand. No, that's not. Never
What
gonna
else
happen
would
because-
we do
but
at
listen,
that
because-
point?
Wait, hold on.
I'm not
hold on,
going to
you
be
guys.
an anarchist if that, but I mean,
Hold on a second, one at a time. You guys can all
Yeah.
throw your opinions at me. Go.
You know,
You see a lot of women get in their emotional feelings about this, but I'm not so emotionally invested in this, because let's be honest, you ladies that concerned about the political process, and the reason why you would say it, because in your mind, for you to have voice in what is going on inward and outer affairs of men that run the country, I mean, it's too much work. Unfortunately, America don't like to be held accountable on the small things. So you're concerned about, still be able to vote, so you could, vote on interest that does not really fit well for the American public and people in general. It's real selfish, in my opinion. So you having the right to vote so you can make stupid decisions is why, even, and I'm not sure what this man's name is, why it is my women should not be voting. It is what it is. Fairies.
what I'm saying is this. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just
Attack
being
me if you want. I'm happy
I'm
for you
being
to.
very animated.
It's a
but
conversation.
What I'm saying is that for what you are suggesting, it would have to be all men Senate, all men Congress.
Yep.
Or the strongest
That
ones.
is not. When has that happened?
Why should women be in politics?
Okay, you're not. This is not.
You
a good
can be
faith
angry about it,
argument.
or you can make a logical argument. Why should
No,
women
you're
be
not.
in politics?
But your argument is in good faith because you are not giving me
I
the
can give- I
setup.
can-
can I
of how
add in?
See, this is why This is why you're proving the gentleman's point why women should not vote. You're up here going through an emotional rant, but you're not giving pinpoints of why you should be granted the right to vote. That's all. It's that simple. Now, this lady's going to explain what and give an articulate answer. And I think she's younger than Crystalline. Crystalline's like 51. And this woman, to my understanding, it looked like she's more well-versed of the political process, or she's studied well enough of this. Let's listen in.
Backtrack for a second.
Yeah, add something.
I'm going to add and backtrack for a second. Men, we're both, women and men are born differently.
Certainly.
Every human being is born with a brain.
Certainly.
And everyone is able to think. Men are gifted in the sense that they are stronger, they run faster. That's why we have men and women sports, which I fully agree with. Men, women,
Less
women.
neurotic, less agreeable.
That's what, in women, you can't have a kid. Everyone's born with different things. But for the entire population, we all have brains to think. We all have arms and legs, the majority, obviously, to work, to do all that. Therefore, women should be able to, I can't tell if you're playing devil's advocate or you really believe it, but, you're from Australia, so I'm happy that you can't vote here for that. I will say, I'm happy for that.
That's fair enough.
But men getting drafted, they were...
Well, if you're not aware, sweetie, they're having people that is undocumented participate in the political process. Can y'all imagine that? Do y'all know that? I just listened just recently on the radio that these people that are what they consider illegal immigrants, because they got a driver's license and able to function in this society, they're able now to participate in our politics. And the question we should ask, since this is some new information, we should always go back and ask the real crucial question. Have people that been that's able to come to America, rather they come here on their own merit, legit or illegal, have they always been able to participate in the American politics, rather local and also the president? These are serious questions that should be asked. Because when the word got out, a lot of the media started to backpedal a little bit. Y'all notice that? I'm just saying. Food for thought. Fair use, fair use.
born differently. We're born differently, but we all have a...
Oh, and Tim writes, once she got into her feelings, the argument was over. Exactly. Fair use. Fair use.
common thing, which is a brain, and we could think.
I got the point. I got the point. I'm ready to answer it.
Great.
Okay. So men being drafted
Sure.
because they're physically superior to women, right? And then you said that we can't have children.
Physically superior is not what I said. You have different stuff. You can't have a kid. That someone could argue the opposite.
Okay,
way.
so would you, like we made the argument before about the men going into the military, you'd rather have a man next to you because he's physically superior. Most men, the vast majority of men, would beat up most women. We can agree to that, right?
100%.
Okay, cool. So,
PR Aquatic donated $200. Lady in the green, where do you think your rights come from?
Being born in America.
Okay, yeah, being born in U.S. soil and having the rights and privileges of an American citizen. That's where I got my rights. Also, my father was fought in World War II, and my grandfather fought in World War I. We are Americans. We love this country.
okay, yeah, your father and your grandfather served the country. Good for
Yes,
them.
they
They deserve
did.
to vote.
Yes, and you know what? Even their daughters and their granddaughters also deserve to vote. People, where I come from, the right to vote is very important to us. So I don't play with that.
Okay, well, why is it important to you?
Because we weren't always able to vote in this country.
Okay.
And it is very important to us.
Okay, but like doesn't answer why you should. I would love to eat ice
Listen,
cream. Ice cream is important to me.
Because
but
my
do I have a right to
forefathers
that?
fought and died. There were people who were hosed in the streets so that I could have the right to vote. So I'm going to be an educated voter. I'm going to vote. I am going to advocate for my children to vote. I am going to make sure that I pick the best person for the job. I am not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. I am a registered independent.
Okay.
I choose my politicians like I choose my men. Let the best man win.
Would you choose Kamala?
I live in California, so I don't.
Like you said,
I don't
you said,
get a
"Let-
chance to
choose the best man to win.
Yeah. Well, usually is a man. This is something that
Got
we can
him.
say is a new.
Yo. Even the pink pill is not so confident of voting Kamala Harris. Kevin, where are you at, my brother?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
You can't make it up, man. She's keeping it real. She said, yes, but then I'm going to pick a man. I'm not picking that. Beep. Oh, no. That Indian. Beep. That so-called prosecutor. Beep. She ain't going to be my president. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. No. I give her credit for that. I ain't gonna knock her. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fair use. I like that.
Yeah, but
Can I ask you why men should be able to vote, just so I can hear an
Well, because-
example of why
Sure.
what you're.
Well, because men bear most of the burden of responsibility in society. Men have to go to war. Men have to go and fight wars. Men build all of the infrastructure around you.
So you think it's all based on who gets drafted? What
Well, that's
about-
one component, but also
The
building.
draft is
Do you
not
think
even
that
around.
women who go to
It's a very-
war
it's a
should
very- it's a
be an
very key-
exception
Yeah, do you
to
think-
voting?
Yes, probably.
Draft
yeah.
isn't even a
If
thing.
you serve your country, I'd say that could
enough.
probably be an exception.
Okay.
But I'd say it's a key component, though, being drafted.
Do you
It's not a
think
small
women
deal.
play a vital role in our society, though?
Yes, but this is where it gets interesting, because I don't look at the right to vote as like a either I'm like human or I'm not human. I don't look at that as in any way your intrinsic value is your right to vote. I think that people have value, but in different ways. I think that it's men's job to be in politics. It's men's job to run society. We're less neurotic. We're less agreeable. We're better leaders. We're more physically capable, and that we are the ones who play these dirty games.
LOL Paladin's friend donated $200.
See that? Simple. There's the answer. And men, as you know, and gentlemen will know this better. We all know this, fellas. A good portion of us will make the hard call, which most women will not make any hard call. And if they do, they're going to go by their feelings why they make decisions. No, we're going to make the hard call because it will make sense. We're going to at least outweigh the options in the last say so in our decision. We're not going to sit there, go by our feelings, and say, I feel I should make this move. No, we're going to think, look at the environment, look at the interior, look at all the left, right, or any way of possibly exits or any things that's coming in and out, and we make a conscious decision. It's that simple. Hope that was clear. Fair use.
This blonde escort, now sweating, staring out into the void, realizing her past sins are finally catching up with her. Do you honestly think she's still in the running for that high-value man now?
Do you want to respond to that?
Who is he asking?
You're the blonde
I
escort.
thought we agreed we were done.
Do you think she's
Well,
still in the running?
paid
Obviously, nobody
$200
in this
yeah.
panel
Sorry.
thinks I'm in the running for a high value man, but I do have high value men in my life, and I don't agree. So, teach their own.
Cool.
Would you say that your dad's a high value man?
Yeah,
And he supports your sex work?
he does.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, where were we? So men build all of the infrastructure around us. Men are
I'm not
better
the one
leaders.
with
I think that
parents who support
men
sex work, but that's okay.
men belong in politics, and I think that actually we do women a massive disservice, because women's role generally in society, if we're looking at what's fruitful, is to reproduce and is to be mothers. That's the primary role of a woman. And I think that the primary role of a man is to protect and provide. And along with that is all of those disgusting things like fighting wars, doing politics, playing the game of chess that is politics, and women in their best form, I think it's just a fact, is raising children. And if you can channel whatever power that you have as a woman into a family, there's nothing better that you can do.
I agree.
You don't need to be in politics.
I will say that there are outliers because we can look at the Bible and see that there are outliers, but I think there are too many women who want to be an outlier, but they have none of the characteristics of an outlier. So it's kind of like goes into the whole delusional thing. People think that they're more attractive than they are and all of that, and it's like everyone wants to be an outlier now, but that's not, they're outliers for a reason. They're rare.
You say that men usually have those traits, right? That's why in America we have the system of if you went to prison because you committed a crime, you get your vote stripped away from you because we've decided that if you commit that, you don't have the brain capacity or whatever the right words would be. But women, like, just as I'm able to spit my opinion right now, and I lean more Republican, right? But I don't think that has to do...
Girl in the lime green, shut the blank up, idiot. Have a conversation like the others are trying to have. If you want equal rights, sign up for the draft.
What was the
Not
last
my
statement you
words,
said?
but-
God damn. Even the people that's paying a whole lot of money, giving the pink pill the business, that's just goddamn sad. Wow.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Moving on. Berries.
Does someone the last statement?
You lean Republican.
Oh, I said I lean Republican. I don't think.
Yeah, but you also mentioned about the prison system, and that's a good system in the sense that people who commit bad
Exactly.
crimes, but doesn't that just show you that democracy is malleable? Democracy is not this sort of overarching thing where everybody has this human... You can take away the vote from people if it benefits society. If you don't want a criminal voting, then you can take away that vote.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But women, like, also... Like, they're not really playing, like, a good society role. I mean, obviously there's circumstances, but
I think that
I'm saying women, if I have to pay taxes, I went through the school system, I'm still dealing with inflation, I still have to pay gas, I still have to do all these things, and I want to say in how I live, I want to say for how my children grow up, and you say like men are more rational, but you're talking to a group that seems to lean more to the right. So it's a matter, maybe.
Look, I think
Does
that
everyone on the panel think that women should have the right to vote? All the girls, all the women?
I do.
Yes.
Wait, Jake, one thing really quick. I don't know if you made this argument because I was gone for a bit. You mentioned like women pay taxes, ergo women should vote. But if you look at women as a collective, they're actually a net negative. Like they take out far more in taxes than they put in. So men are the only ones that actually contribute collectively
Everything is taxed, even
No,
I'm
but
not disagreeing with that, but everything's taxed.
Right,
The money I make from going to work, the
Sure.
things I buy, if I want to go buy an iPhone, like I'm still getting taxed on the phone. Like I still pay taxes. Like
right,
even
but so women take out far more in taxes collectively than they put in, whereas men are the only net positive when it comes to the tax system.
The way you're
That's a
filing, the way you're
Can I
filing
have a
taxes
question
is
No,
what I'm saying.
I'm saying that that's a generalization though. I'm not taking money from the
Look,
government.
Again,
I
actually, this is even my position. I'm fine
not-
with.
I'm
Can I
not
try to
saying
find some
that.
middle ground?
I'm
with the
fine
ones
with women
who-
voting.
Well,
yeah?
I just want to know in what way do women drain the system? Is it through childbirth or
I mean,
taking care
I
of
can-
kids? I mean,
It's I forget the exact terminology, but tax net negative women. I'm gonna just Google it.
And please don't get something from the 1990s.
I'm just trying to look into.
It's
Jake,
probably
I do
the
have
way
a
that we
question
file
for you, too.
taxes, like head of household versus.
So it's men are net taxpayers, whereas so men pay taxes in the aggregate, women do not. Let's see here as to the reasons here. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory here. So
I can understand what you're saying with that. I'm not going to speak on something that I haven't researched and I don't know because I'm not just going to talk out my ass. But at the same time, I feel like I have a good head on my shoulders, especially for my age. And when I drop my children off at school, I don't want them learning certain things that are that I don't agree with, and I want to have the vote on that. If Kamala was president and she's telling Planned Parenthood to give out free birth control without my knowledge, I don't want that to happen. And
are you guys following this? Y'all following this really good? I hope y'all guys following this really good, Oh, and side note, because they talk about the Planned Parenthood again. Like I said before, Planned Parenthood is positioned in certain areas, adjacent to certain communities all across the United States. And really, if you think about why the Black community especially has more of them, is because they need, unfortunately, the baby bodies, for other means, And I can go in detail what those means are. You could do your own imagination and think on that. Various. And one other thing, y'all know what time it is. Y'all guys, please support the channel. Y'all know what it is.
I want my money. I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
All right, guys, please support the channel. You know that I think the Cash App is $Chaos8Rain. Do not be stingy. All support of the channel goes well to the channel and other necessities. So please support the channel. Either the Cash App or Super Chat, everything. And always questioning. Super Chat will be good for questioning. And if you want to have your own input of this stream, let me know. I will drop the link. Fair use.
Yeah, so I reckon somewhere you could find middle ground is that. Do you want to quickly ask me a question before we do this?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you personally believe that women should not have the right to vote?
Yes.
You do personally believe that?
Yes.
So,
I agree with that, actually.
So what kind of government would you call that?
Well, you could still call it a representative democracy, but only men vote.
How is that
People get stripped of their rights to vote all the time.
No, but you're talking about 50% of the population. We're not talking about a few felons here and there. We're talking about the entire swath of, half of.
I'm aware. You don't have to explain it.
So what?
Looked into it.
So if you have half of the country not being represented, what is that government called?
Well, it's still called a representative democracy, but less people vote.
No. How can it be a representative democracy when
because
there's literally millions of people who are not being represented?
Well, that's happening right now. Children can't vote.
No, I'm asking you, what kind of government is that?
I'm just told you, but you're not accepting my answer.
I think that it's more totalitarian government than it's not a democracy. A democracy.
First of all, the United States of America is not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
I understand. Yes, I do understand that.
You guys just have a you have a system where you have a democratic vote, but it's not a pure democracy. And obviously, democracy isn't like utopia. Democracy isn't this idea of heaven. Democracy is just a political system.
Yeah, but we're not talking
about that. It's not like a flawless political system, so it needs to be adjusted. So
You're the one to do it.
Well, we can talk about it. We can all have our different ideas, and if you have your ideas, you can say them. And saying to me something like, "Well, you're the one to fix it all," doesn't actually make a good argument for you.
I'm not. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm not. My argument is.
I think that I have good ideas. You think you have good ideas. So let's talk on the merit of the ideas rather than.
I think. All right. Let me ask you this: is there any possibility in this conversation that I could be wrong, or you could be wrong, or I could be right and you could be right?
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to have a real conversation.
That's what I've been trying to do.
No. This gentleman's right and you're wrong because you don't understand, one, the political process. Two, majority of the time when you try to lay out your answer, it's more of babble than a logical reason. And third, you put feelings into it. And we all know, like my good friend Tevin King said, once you put feelings into the equation, you lost. Enough said. Fair use. And please support the channel, guys.
All right, that's good.
We go around and ask everyone.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I think that in terms of finding common ground, I think that one way that would be actually pretty effective is having a vote for the home rather than the individual vote, because when you look at the value of men and women is obviously very different when it comes to fighting wars and then creating a home. If you had a vote where it was there was one vote per household, but it was the husband who did the vote, then that would make a lot of sense, because if you did want to...
Beelster77 donated $200. For the Americans, who is everyone voting for the next election and why?
I'll just finish that off. If you did want to vote, and if it was so important to you, then you could get married and be a part of a family, and you and your husband could make that decision.
I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this statement, but do you think that to vote you should be married?
I think that having a vote in the home, in the nuclear family, would be a good idea.
Right, but
because that's the best representation
I'm
of society.
saying for a single person.
So how does that work for somebody like me, for instance, where I was married before and
Single
now I'm
women,
divorced?
no. Single men, yes.
Okay.
So that's not a family voting. It's basically just men voting.
Well, like I said
but
before,
they
men
pretend
and
to
women-
listen to the women. I mean, but that's just, I feel like that's a lie. Like that, to phrase it as something that you don't actually mean. Like, can we agree on that? That's not what you meant.
I'm not 100% sure what your point is, because I've made the argument for like the last half an hour.
My point about what I think you're like saying is that you said that married women, so the man just goes in. It's kind of just
exactly.
like
The man
it's
is the head
kind
of
of
the
like,
household.
here's $1 and then I'm giving $1 million to that person, but saying it's equal.
No, it's
like
just
it doesn't make
it's
sense
just the idea
to
that
me.
the man is the head of a household and the man does
So
the
men
vote.
only should vote though. So you're just rephrasing
Well, it's
it
in
in a way that made it sound like better to women is what it is.
Well, no, you're a part of a family unit, and the man represents the family, and he casts his vote on behalf of the family.
Correct, but you said
But has
single
the final
men
say.
should be able to vote.
Yeah, because single
and
men can get drafted, and single men build the infrastructure around you.
I got to move things on a little bit here, but I think women should vote, but I also think they should be drafted. In fact, for equity's sake, they should actually be the only ones drafted and forced to fight in wars for the next 1,000 years or so. That would be equity to me. So I think we do that.
That's a terrible idea.
Going to the TTS that came through. For the Americans, who is everyone voting for the next election? Why? This is Belster, Belster 77. Thank you for the TTS. Appreciate it. Who are you voting for, and quickly why?
Kamala, because I want to.
Okay.
Trump, because he encourages American manufacturing.
Trump.
Doesn't matter. I live in California.
Okay.
I pass. It doesn't matter.
I don't actually vote. My dad votes for me, and I just sign the ballot. Been doing it since I was 18, but I'm pretty sure it will say Trump.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We have Dylan Joe. Can I have you read this one?
Brian, don't be so hard on yourself. You're not over the hill. If you retire, at least become a pilot. Your intro spiel makes me feel like I'm landing on whatever planet. This girl is lucky Andrew Tate's not here. Listen to Jake.
Just Andrew.
Andrew's not
Makes
here.
me feel like I'm landing on a planet.
Andrew.
This girl is lucky. Andrew's not here.
Different. Andrew will.
Yeah, thank
Quiet
you.
White Knight
thank you.
donated $2.
Yeah, and good thing Andrew's not here either, man, because he get in this conversation, he's going to, demolish these lovely ladies, unfortunately. And he'll do it with a smile on his face, Matter of fact, now I think about it, he should have participated in this particular conversation, to be honest with you. Because, these ladies not making no sense. Only one chick probably might have an argument to stand, which is the brunette on next to the blonde on the far right, but yeah. I don't see anybody else is going to really lay out their arguments properly. But that's just me. Hope you guys enjoying the show so far, man. Make sure to hit the like button, share, and all this good. And subscribe to the channel. Fair use.
$200.
Thank you, Quiet White Knight.
How about we don't move on? Please, Aussie White Knight, stay out of this. You are being boring. This is the best topic of the night, where my man caught the escort being a pathological liar. BLM labias.
Oh God, do we really have to talk about this again?
Hashtag Big Labia Matters. Look, I'm getting a lot of, oh boy.
You should do a poll. Can you do a poll on who wants to move
Look,
on?
the chat, I'm going to have to, I think, I'm not even posting anything. Like, the people in the Discord are finding a fuck ton of shit, so.
Is there something else now? Is there something else out there?
There's another video.
Women not being able
There's
to
a
vote.
video.
This is regressive. Is what it is.
There's another video,
if y'all
but then,
really
hold on. So discord.gg/whatever if you want to see it, if you want to see all the stuff. What's up?
If y'all really think that she's doing that just to kind of bring more attention to her OnlyFans, then why continue it?
Shit, I don't know, calling out liars, I guess. But
So there's
also
now-
the craziest
hold
thing
on,
is
so there's
she's
there
a
now-
lingerie model.
is there
like,
now
this
another
is the
video?
most conservative she's ever dressed anywhere. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows there's a bunch of like conservative viewers, and she's trying to pander
But I
to
am
the
a conservative, though, so.
This is the most conservative
Fiscally.
you've
He
ever
said
dressed in your
fiscally.
entire life.
I mean, I'm voting
Let
for
me
Trump.
put on a
Can
Hillary
we pull
Clinton.
up, like-
Let me hold on. Don't interrupt, please. Let me put on a Hillary Clinton fucking uniform so I can pander to my perceived understanding of the whatever audience.
I'm
so I
wearing
could
shorts,
siphon.
so it's not that conservative. You
And
can
red
see my-
bottoms.
We
yeah,
can't even see.
It's
yeah,
really
we
not
can't
that
see
conservative. It's
You're
just
playing,
a
you're
classy
playing
outfit.
a character.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
just
wore it
like
because I
a-
thought I'd be cold because I'm always cold, so I'm not sweating. First of all, whoever said that.
What have we had? We've had the
Oh my
virgin
God.
last time. Remember that girl with all the surgery who said she didn't have surgery and she said she was a virgin or whatever? That one
trying to
who
remember
was
it.
on soft white underbelly?
What a gal.
All the surgeries.
Yeah, remember she said
Oh
she didn't
yes,
have a BBL?
yes, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, it's the exact same.
Yeah.
She was egregious though.
Yeah, she was the worst.
This is
one.
not as bad. This is not as bad as her, but
This one you can't actually confirm it. With the other one, you could.
Okay,
like,
I have a
100%
question.
confirm
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
So with you, whether or not you did this, I obviously don't know. I haven't seen the video. I can't confirm anything. But is your like holdback from confirming this video that you think those of us on here that like might have a different perspective on OnlyFans, like we would judge you if you had openly admitted that you were in these videos, or is it?
I mean, I've already been fully judged on the. I've already had all the judgment, so I'm not scared of being further judged. I just didn't do that, so I'm not going to confirm something that's untrue.
Okay. It's crazy though.
Honestly,
Like
I don't have a problem doing that. I haven't though. So I wouldn't care about being judged.
hold on. All right.
I just don't sell
Is
that
there a
kind
way
of
you
content.
can,
And
like,
how am I promoting my OnlyFans when I'm literally saying I don't sell that kind of content? I don't do that.
So is there any
So
chance that
people
this
go
is a
check it out?
is there any chance that
No,
this is
to
a
see if-
private video with somebody that you were dating previously that recorded something that got on the internet
I
that
would
was
know.
not
I would know if somebody did that to me.
okay?
It's crazy though, because I mean, like this hesitation to want to share something like this. We've had full-blown escorts, prostitutes. They've had like literal. They work for a brothel. I don't think what you've done is even to that degree, and they just come on, admit it. We don't like. One of the most pleasant guests we've ever had on. Her name's Lauren. She's slept with like over 1,000 men for work or whatever. And we treat her perfectly, politely, respectfully. She's a good sport. And it's just like, but when you lie, I think that's the issue that I and the viewers have. It's like when you lie about it, then that's people are like, well, hold on, nope. Here's the XYZ video, here's all this other stuff. Anyways, I don't really want to linger on, it's kind of beating a dead horse.
It gives it a lot of attention, though,
Yep,
and not
so-
saying that that's what you
anyways,
were
this is
doing.
why I'm gonna
but,
have her
I mean,
read
if you're gonna
this.
do it,
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Ask the women why they
Stop, go ahead.
Right.
Ask the women why they should vote, and they start fighting amongst each other. Even if someone has a good opinion, if they can't logically articulate why their opinion holds less value, learn to think.
Men would do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Men will argue too. I mean,
Sure.
that's.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, men have a better argument when it comes to drawing out their points. But, it wouldn't be a show without the ladies out here, to give it eye candy. But regardless, talking about serious issues, especially political issues or things that really matter, I can see why a lot of men would kind of tell you ladies to be quiet in that regards. I mean, I'm sorry. That's how I'm noticing right now throughout this whole panel. But let's keep going. Various.
I agree, though. I don't think I've
Do you
articulated.
think women should be drafted?
No. Because I agree with him that men's bodies are.
Well, if you believe that, you should not vote then, or be part of the political process. You see, ladies, understand when you want equality, you gotta accept it all of it, not some of it, or you're gonna pick and choose what what parts you're going to participate in this Western social order, you have to have it all. You have to participate in it all, not a percentage or, no. If you're going to vote, that means you got to also be able to be enlisted and drafted into the military. And here's a side note for those that don't know. And I'm not going to waste time looking it up. But have you gentlemen noticed that there has been a rise of a lot of females in the military? Have y'all noticed that, gentlemen? Have y'all noticed that? So if you're in the military, that means you're taking a piece of the military budget working for the military or United States Army, or you want to call the branch of, military action you take. So why you think you're not going to be able to go to war when the time comes? I'm curious. I'm just curious. You see, that's why I don't like this stupid argument with a lot of women saying, or what their rant about what they will do and they won't do. No, you don't have no choice. If you want to be a free citizen and be able to participate fully in the American process, including politics, you're going to have to be enlisted if war happens to be in the military. So they draft you, you got to go out there and fight. I mean, you got to pick up your M16, your assault rifles, your shotguns, your hand pistols, your knife, your machete, all the combat gear, and be out there ready to fight for this country. So that's simple. And I'm not gonna go back and forth with this because that should be giver. That should be given. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fair use.
Like physically superior. Or not superior, but like.
But you think women should be allowed to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so okay.
I've done a lot of traveling over the last few years, and I've been to Bali and Thailand. I spent a bit of time there working digital nomad stuff. And there's a lot of Russian and Ukrainian girls over there, like thousands of them everywhere you go. But in Russia and Ukraine, there's probably upwards of 1 million young dudes who have been blown to pieces and died in the war. So we can talk about this in a way that's, just abstract, but it actually really happens in the real world where these guys get called upon and they have to go to war. So it's not a small deal, and all the chicks, they get to run off to Bali and Thailand. If you actually place the practical reality in front of a girl and be like, you have this risk where you will go and potentially get blown up by artilleries or lose your legs or something like this.
They don't know what artillery is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna. And here's another side note for people that don't know, is that other women, regardless of what you think or feel, are trained for combat. You think that they are participating in the political process in their nations on the average? I doubt it. But if they are, and they train their women, it's telling that every citizen in that country is prepared for what is expected, for any uncertainty wars that will come across their table. And American women think that they should not be able to be out there, pick up weapons and fight like the men. And to be honest with you, that's not possible. If you are going to participate in the American political realm in regards to voting, that is the trade-off. It's that simple. So anyhow, let's keep going. Fair use.
You could get blown to smithereens.
But I
guarantee you would give up your vote in a second if it meant that you had to do that.
I don't think anybody should have to do with the draft. We don't have the draft in this country for a reason. Because
We do have a draft.
We do have a draft.
I know there's been a...
Men have to register in this country.
It's paused because they don't have to be drafted immediately, but they auto sign up.
There's no draft. There hasn't been a draft.
If there was a war tomorrow and the U.S. had to go and fight a hot war, you would need military.
No, there was no draft. Like when we had a conflict in Iraq, we did not have a draft.
You didn't need to.
We didn't need to have a draft because there was enough people
You were fighting like sheep herders. You didn't need to.
We also did not do the draft. So it's
We
just
have
what I'm
one,
saying.
and it's in place if needed. It's not like, oh,
If
it's
needed.
not jury duty where it's like, oh, this guy needs to go.
There
for a
is
little
enough
bit.
men and women who volunteer to put their life on the line that we don't need to utilize a draft. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You have to sign up for the draft when you are a man and you turn of age.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
consequences if you don't. It's technically
welcome.
felony 250.
You know, you don't really need to know that because you understand how the goddamn world effing works. That's why. That's why. You see, this is why a lot of women. Let's be honest. When they go back and replay a lot of these episodes they part of, they gotta listen to themselves very carefully and know how stupid they sound. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you run your mouth like you know something or know enough. No. No. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fair
$2,000 fine. You're barred from certain federal jobs, federal programs. You can't get student aid. There's a whole bunch of ramifications.
I have a question for you real quick.
Go for it.
Some men can't be able to get drafted. I don't know the exact, if they lessen what the requirements are, if it comes to a draft, I'm not sure about that. But I know that there are certain things that, if you're on medication, you follow, like, I have celiac, so I can't eat gluten. I couldn't go to war even if I wanted to because of that. That's a thing. You can look it up.
Really?
Yeah.
People with celiac disease are barred from.
Well, there's a lot of gluten at war, bro. What the hell?
Look it up. If you have a certain food
military.
intolerance.
There are certain.
Why don't you guys let Paula answer
Yes,
that
there
question?
are
She is
certain
not-
things that prohibit you if you have like heart disease, if you have stuff that would affect like your physical and actual like well-being and could cause the death of somebody else because you have a heart attack or have diabetes, stuff like that. Yes, there are medical exceptions to it, but other than medical
I mean,
exceptions,
I
there
did look
isn't
it up.
a
A
whole lot.
diagnosis of celiac or food allergies is medically disqualifying, largely because the military does not provide gluten-free or allergen-safe MREs.
So that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, someone doesn't
There are,
go to
med-
war.
there are medical
that's not
exceptions.
the
Yes, some
question.
people can be medically disqualified from.
Well, you say that like it's a blown off, but you were wrong. Number one. Number
I
two, the
wasn't.
question that I had was, do you think men that don't qualify, if they have celiac or they have certain heart
Yeah,
things,
if you're
can they
medically
vote?
disqualified, you're not going to be drafted.
That's what I'm saying. So are
But
they
able-bodied women are not subject at all.
So do the men who are disqualified from being drafted, can they vote?
That's what I'm asked. That was the question. That's a good question.
I would say that if you're a celiac and you don't want to be drafted, then yeah, you shouldn't vote.
Well, okay. Well, it's not a joke. I can't eat gluten and I can end up in the hospital. It eats my stomach lining. Every 2 years I have to get a biopsy and,
And
a
for
tube
you,
down
I
my
would
throat.
accept that.
I mean,
Although-
but that's a normal thing. Some people can't. Some people have it so severe where they can't even use the same pan. I mean, it's not like just a blown over joke. Like
Yeah.
if you'll starve. If the MREs, it's what it's called. They I assume have gluten in them, right?
Yeah, but the military
does, yeah.
can.
So it's a severe
these
thing.
are the current standards. We're not really involved in like a massive mobilization. So the military could always like, oh, we really need people. We're going to roll this back, and perhaps we don't send them to the front line where they need to be consuming MREs, but they could stay stateside and do some form of military service. where they
Administrative
can-
stuff, whatever. Yeah.
The military needs pencil pushers, like
Yeah.
paper pushers. So.
Look what they're doing. The average age of service at the moment in Ukraine is like 45. They're ripping people off the streets and drafting them left, right, and center. So
Right, but we
here's
don't live in
here's the deal. I think that women
Draft women? I
women
100%
do
agree.
give service during
Please,
times
God,
of
no.
war, and if you want to win wars, you're not going to put women on the front lines anyway.
No, put them on the
You're
front
gonna
line.
you're gonna put
Soften
them,
up the enemy a little
We're gonna
bit.
be
Yeah, man. Women gonna have their purpose. What do you mean? Yeah, put them in the front line, man. Since they want to be like men. Obviously, yes, baby. Go up the front line. Get that AK. Grab that shotgun. Grab that rifle. Grab that pistol. And put in that work. But a lot of women don't want to do that, you know. A lot of women don't want to do that. All right, hold on. Matter of fact, let me see if I can skim through this a little bit. Patience. Let me see. I'm trying to find some right now. I'm trying to find where is it? Hold on, guys. Where is it? Oh, I forgot I was using this. Shit. I didn't notice that. Hold on. Let me switch. All right, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna try to find more parts of this video. Fair use.
Washing the cups. We're gonna be washing the clothes. We're gonna be doing the
The same shit you were doing before.
Yeah, exactly. So if that means that's what I'm gonna do when I get drafted, okay. If I'm serving my country, okay.
But you can still get
I
blown
don't
up.
have the okay, but I'm willing.
It's a support role.
I love
It's
this country. It's a support role, and I'd be okay to do it.
Anyways, let's get back to dating. I'll read this, or actually, I'll have you read this. Go ahead.
Ukraine is an example of why women should not vote. They elected a politician that are terrible at managing the economy, weakening the country so much it became an easy target. The war starts and hundreds of thousands of men are dead, and women are simply left in the country.
Vadim, thank you for the $100 soup chat, man. Really appreciate it. Actually, there's a really good. I'll just say it. So Jake already kind of brought this up, but we've shown this graphic before where you'll see like people who are in other countries will see Ukrainian women on dating apps in these other countries. They've fled Ukraine. And they're on Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, they're out at the club partying, whatever. Meanwhile, their male counterparts, their male peers, are like dead in some ditch in like eastern Ukraine. So it's like there's such a massive contrast there that's kind of interesting to point out. Thank you for the super chat, though. Appreciate it, man. Let's get back to something dating related. Let's get through the notes here. Let's see. Where were we? Crystalline?
It's crystalline. He's from
Okay,
Chris.
crystalline.
Crystalline. Definitely not a communist.
You said, I think that the show does a relatively good job of pointing out the absurdities in dating when it comes to women, but not so much on the men who are also capable of such fuckery. It gives the impression that all the issues people are having in dating is 100% on the women, which is patently not true. We kind of dived into that a little bit early on in the conversation.
But I have something else that I want to bring up too,
What's
and
up?
it's another layer to it. Gen Z is averaging at 2 IQ points lower than the rest of us. They are addicted to their devices. They are not meeting reading and math scores. They have terrible communication skills. Teachers are quitting because the kids are so horrible. And I think about less intelligent, poor reading comprehension skills, poor critical thinking skills, and all they have is the internet to teach them. They were born on it. It's been their whole lives. And when you're talking about that level of intellectual vulnerability, I shudder to think like some of the things that are being promoted, not necessarily this show, but I'm saying in general, some of the extreme content on both sides, like, get a guy for all his money, or,
Let me stop right here. And this is where the disingenuous I find this very alarming. You labeling the Generation Z adults, because most of them now pretty much adults. If you're born 1995 up to 2015, I believe, 20-year span, roughly. And if you look at 2015, the last young one will be 9 years old. I say this, the reason why those children are considered dumb, if we want to go there, right? Yes, we'll go there. It's because you, the parent, yes, you, have failed your child. Now, what I mean by this, most majority of parents today, a good portion, unfortunately, and I like to say this, but I'm going to keep real with y'all, are lazy. They're lazy. They are lazy. Now, why I say this, they're lazy. Because if your children, the day they are born until they walk out your house as quote unquote adults, right? What have you been doing to prepare them? And I'll just use the word groom them to be productive citizens of the 21st century is my biggest question. That cannot or will not get a real adequate answer, right? What you are as a parent, are you putting the time and energy to nourish and guide and teach your own children, women, especially Black women? For you to mention that is ironic to say that they have a teacher, yes? Or are you just a lazy parent, especially if you're a woman, that are you instilling basic critical thinking, basic, curiosity, or trying to, present things to your children to stimulate their intelligence, have them think and do things that will challenge them? Or are you just there putting the goddamn tablet, the goddamn cell phone, particularly Android or iPhone, in their hands all day, every day to go there and just twiddle their thumbs and watch and play nonsense? Because that will be why you see the statistics as is in regards the laziness, the adequacy, the less comprehensive type of children that are adults today. Because you groom them to be that. You train them. You did not put nothing into them for their better development. So yes, it falls back on you, ladies. Unfortunately. But that will require knowing and taking actual accountability of the mishaps, which a lot of modern Western women are not going to do. And they will not do that. Because in their mind, they feel they're exempt of any real responsibility of how your children come out. So let that sink in. And I know that they went over a lot of people's head, but let's keep real. You are the first teachers. And I'm looking at the teacher say. The teacher say is dropping the ball. Anyhow, let's keep going. Fairies.
Sleep with 1,000 girls before you marry. Like, these are all bad. This is bad advice. And we follow those things to their logical end, then we're doomed. We're in trouble. I just think that as content creators, we have kind of a responsibility. These kids are, the oldest cohort is 14. These are the people who were born 2010 and after. And in 4 years, they're going to be voting age.
No, the ones that's 2015, because you're talking about Generation Z. It did not stop at 2010. Generation Z, and let's get this straight. And I could probably pull up using the AI to find where Generation Z starts. I know where it starts off my head because I know where each generation starts. Baby boomers start from 1945 to 1964. Generation X, 1965 to upwards to 1979 or 78. Sorry, not 1980, not 1981 or 1985. I know where Negroes get this idea from. You need to go look it up because it's giving mixed message. So if they're saying it starts from 80, 81, it ends at 80, 81, you have to assume it ended during the end of the 70s. And then after millennials is Generation Z, 1995 to 2015, roughly. It's like Generation X, 65 to 78. You gotta look at Generation Z the same way. It starts on a 5 and it'll end roughly on another 5. But the Generation X, it stops at roughly the 8. Because it is a period where most people, if they're born in the 60s up to the end of the 70s, you understand how life was growing up, how things were done. So, all right, let's keep going. Fairies.
They have these issues. Do we really want the relationship advice just in general?
No
the
one
things
disagrees
that they're
with
saying? And I just think that we just need to be more responsible. I think there's a lot of people who disagree.
Are you talking specifically about this podcast or about...
No, I specifically said,
Okay.
I think that's why I'm here, because this podcast is good. I said it leans a little bit, but I've seen extreme. And I think that it sows discontent. You are dealing with very vulnerable kids, and you're putting all of this nonsense into them. You're not teaching them how to be in relationships.
Who is putting...
Who is
I don't
they?
want to say,
I
but
want
it's
to know
not
that.
you. Okay.
Are you talking about the red pill?
Red pill content, but also sort of exploit men monetarily content, like men are trash. Like, there was a woman here last week, and you were going through her Twitter feed, and it was just one thing after the other about men. This like, she's so stupid. This, like, that is, yeah, it's not unnecessary. I think it's just not going to end well if we don't do something.
Yeah, all right. So this isn't a criticism
No.
about the podcast? Oh, okay, all right.
No, I just had the voting thing for Andrew, but he wasn't here.
Okay, let's get into some of the other notes. We have Lindsay, hairstylist, used to be a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hair looks great.
You dated a Marine, and your roommate at the time apparently had a crush on him. She got drunk and expressed it to me, then bit me literally.
Yeah,
right,
really.
I'm going
So I was
fast
like
forward, guys.
24.
Let me stop this. Let me find the point of this, guys, because now they're gonna be babbling about some other stuff. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna have to. Where was I? All right, Super J. Well, okay, Reddit reaction, tweet reaction, return to explicit video. All right, we're gonna go to 512. Wait, hold on. Okay, the guy that's talking Crystalline, his name is Jake. Okay. Yeah, all right. Ooh. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna fast forward to 512. All right. All right. All right, let's listen to this. Fair use, fair use.
I don't want it within the Dropbox if possible. And then F11 it. Okay. Can I have you read this one?
I'm unsure if I should tell my boyfriend this information, ? I've recently gone official with the man I've been dating for a couple months. He's kind, respectful, and considerate, and I really think he could be the one. But something is eating at me. I wanted to build slowly with this man so we didn't become intimate until after going exclusive. But between the first date and that point, I did see an old Friends with Benefits a couple of times. Back then, I didn't think anything of it as I wasn't exclusive, but I underestimated how much I would care for my boyfriend, and I feel almost like I have cheated on him. Have I done something wrong? Do I need to tell him? Will he end things with me?
You can read the update part.
Yeah. The update was, there was mixed reactions here, but my gut told me that I should tell my boyfriend. He said sorry.
Yeah, that's boring. I'm going fast forward, guys. I don't listen to that. Nah, screw that. Hold on, I'm trying to find the pinpoint of some other thing. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Oh, let's look at the rate and age gap. This one's interesting. Let's see if Chris has anything to say about it. Rate and age gap. Let's go. All right, let's go listen to this. Fairies.
Austin. So this is from a Reddit called, subreddit called True Rate Me, and they do pretty interesting in-depth analysis. Oh, can you just open the new tab so we have the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, like the video. Just hit the like button, por favor. All right, so scroll up. Wait, is this wait. This is the women's rating primer. Can you make it bigger? Scroll big. Big. We can't read. Oh, really? Click on it.
Now, I'm not sure if this is something that it dating people for age or as a site that people is dating, and they could pick out the age or what they look like. I'm not sure if this is what they're looking at. Looks like that is. And I'm looking at things right now at my other end. Let's see. Yeah, we can go ahead. All right, let's listen to this. Berries.
There we go. Zoom it out now. Okay. Bigger, please. Okay. Step-by-step rating guide.
I'm not sure if that is an accurate rating from 1 to 10. I don't like the 10 rating because every woman, let's be honest, think they're a 10. So obviously they're not going to lower themselves anything less than 10, regardless if they might be, a plus size chick. So various.
So you have, we won't read the whole thing, but facial harmony, mid-face ratio, eye area, skin, features, bones, the rest. Scroll down a bit. Okay, so you have facial harmony, scroll down, mid-face ratio, keep going. Feline, hunter eyes, feline, innocent eyes, scroll down. There's a lot of analysis here. Skin, features, face shape, nose, lips, etc., bones. Bro, wait, go back up. Go back up to the bones. Zygomatic bones, maxilla, bro. The analysis here is crazy. Scroll down. Okay, scroll down. Oh, that's it. Okay. So
there should be an app where you put your face in it, and they can.
There might be. Actually.
Yeah.
We should do one.
I've seen it.
Anyways, there is certainly objectivity when it comes to physical beauty, but you wrote primary victim of war. Was there a disagreement there on this?
No, that wasn't a disagreement with you.
You wanted to talk about it.
That was a disagreement with so many people that I hear say anything but men. And I feel like I have some good other reasons that I don't hear get brought up a lot. Because they'll be like, oh, well, men die. But it's like men also get their legs blown off. And then their wives leave them. And then they have PTSD. And then they're homeless on the street, living near like a VA and stuff like that. You see that. And it's like, no, in every instance, no matter what, I think men 100% are the primary victim of war. So that was my...
And then you said, wait, do you have a main opposition toward age gap relationships?
Yes, I do with that one.
And you said, but you do disagree with people saying it's easier for older men to manipulate younger women, or do you agree with that?
So no, I have a disagreement with age gap relationships.
Now, this should be interesting about the age gap. And you got to understand, gentlemen, in regards to this age gap nonsense, women, unfortunately here in America, they want to exercise the option to dating not just older gentlemen, but also younger gentlemen if they can't qualify for the, what they call it, older gentleman that has more. If you think about it, which I find to be effed up. But let's hear her little stupid why she's the opposition of the age gapping. Fair use. And if you guys want to chime in, let me know in the chat room, please.
And then I also do think that it's easier for younger women to manipulate older men.
Oh, it's okay. It's easier for younger women to manipulate older
But
men.
I do still have disagreements with age gap relationships.
So what's your objection to the age gap thing? And going around the table, let me open it up to the panel. Age gap relationships, have an issue with it? Would you date somebody older than you, like decently older than you?
I think it depends because my dad is like 35, so I wouldn't date somebody like that old, but...
Wait, your dad's 35?
Your dad is 35?
Wait, you're 20?
36, 30, I don't know.
You don't know you don't know your dad's age?
He was born in 1986, I know that.
So he is...
Oh, wow, he's young.
So, wait, no.
Wait, so you should know, come on. Oh my. Man.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this
shit up.
I want my money. I told you.
Where is my money?
Betty. Bring me everyone.
I need my money. I need my money.
What do you mean everyone?
He's 38.
Sweetie, are you trolling? Like, literally, are you really trolling? You don't know your own father's age? And I'm not sure how old she is. And God, I hope you're not in your late 20s. At least. If you were just touching, let's say, 20, roughly, it would make sense. And I have to, now it makes me want to go really back, see how old she is. And God, baby, I hope you're not in your late 20s. If you're in late 20s, I mean, your father had you when he was a teenager. Just saying. And not only any teenager, like a really early teenager, because at 38, I'm not sure how old you are, sweetie, but you don't even know your own father's age, which I find out alarming. Anyhow, let's keep going. Farious.
He's
30,
How old are
38,
you?
39.
20?
He had you when he was 18.
So I would.
Okay, you're 20. All right. So that the math makes sense. Okay. So you were born 2004. Your father had you when he was 18. Okay, makes sense. Farious.
Have trouble dating somebody who's like my dad's age. But I
Okay.
think other people are free to do what they want.
38, 39, okay. Objections to age gap relationships, yes, no?
No, I'm fine with it.
No.
No.
No, I think they actually.
Damn, you're hella far from the mic.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's my back.
That's crazy how that happened.
My back. I know. I'm sitting here. I know. It's my back. I'm sorry.
You have a nicer chair, Brian.
Yeah, we just sit there. I think that they actually can be beneficial, but I think that it depends on what stage of life you are. You know, if you're 18 and somebody 40 wants to date you, no, you know, it's a little bit, and if
It's a little bit what?
it doesn't matter if it's a woman who's older or a man who's older. I just think there's such an imbalance in terms of life experiences and just their development. I just like give the kid a chance to like have his
you mean
brain
adult?
develop.
You mean
No, it's
adult?
like have the brain develop. Your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25.
Isn't-
Your
isn't
frontal
this
lobe doesn't even
debunked?
develop.
I think
Like
that whole
just
thing's
leave the
debunked,
kids
but-
alone till they're 25. and
You
their
mean
brain's fully
adults?
cooked.
Do you mean adults? Why do you say kids?
Because your brain, to me, you're a kid until your brain is fully cooked. Okay.
So
No, you're adult when you're a goddamn adult. We don't really draw us how can I say this? You're an adult once you're unfortunately laws of this land 18 years of age. At 18 years of age or even 17, this country you will be eligible and are right to serve your country. 18, you could pretty much if you're not in high school or finish high school, you could do things as adults except drink, because to drink you got to be 21 in America especially. But to sit there saying that until your brain is fully cooked or fully developed after the age of 25, or we can go as far as 27 to be safe, no. And I'm gonna say something that's gonna be offensive. I don't give a fuck, but I'm gonna say this anyway. Other countries don't really concern themselves about you get your brain developed before you consider adults. Only here in America does this because America, the notion here is that you are a child. And like a child, you move and act like a child, like not only in mind, but in action. Hell, they still call women that are in their early 20s as girls. Even go as far as they can go as far as even as old as 27. Some will consider that as a goddamn baby. Can you imagine that? Only in America you see women talking about saying brain development. If everything was about brain development, why the hell you messing with young boys that let's say, are able to make a lot of money, why are you messing with them and dating them and having their kids? That's something to think about. That's something to think about. I'll let y'all daydream on that. Fair use, fair use.
And that's 25.
Your frontal lobe isn't fully
Okay,
developed
so
until a
should people
certain
not be
age.
able to vote until they're 25?
You know what? That's an argument. That's an argument. I certainly
Should people not be able to
no.
drink
I think
until they're
that
25?
I think waiting till you're 25 to vote.
Should they not be able to sign a legally binding contract until they're 25?
That could be argued, yeah. I mean, listen, we're living a lot longer now. You know, like the age of majority hasn't changed since when? And we are now living until 80, 90 years old. So I don't know. I don't think it's that bad to change it. Why not?
Yo. She need to get the hell off the panel, man. For real, man. Where's Kevin?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Yo. And this is the reason why women are not supposed in charge for certain things. This is getting embarrassing now. This is downright awful right now. Farious. I'm gonna keep playing because I don't want to go on a rant with this.
Okay.
So what's the parameter on your age bracket for like where there is a differential between like what age is too high or too low?
Well, I think that if you are 18 and the person who is interested in you is 45, I think there's some experiential gaps. You know, there's maturity. That
Both ways, man or woman?
But let me just say this, though. I just think that it just depends. My father was 17 years older than my...
Wait. She asked a good question. Does it depend? Is it both? Can this rule apply for both? She jumped over that. You notice Pink Pill jump over that. She didn't want to answer that question. You know, my thing with this is this mate guarding thing and who could do certain things and that. I call bunk. That's why a lot of men really not listen to women now and not take them seriously because they watching the actions, and by their actions is very ish at best. Fair use.
My mom. My guy is 13 years older than me. I'm not against it. I'm not telling. I'm saying like when it's a huge gap. So like in your
So
20s and 30s, you're trying to find
situational
yourself.
gaps.
Yeah. So if you're in your late
Okay, and then you
teens
say
and you're in
that.
your early 20s, you know these are your major growth and development times. And
Okay,
so I think
sure.
that you should be able to experience life.
And then did you lay out your arguments for this?
No. So I don't really necessarily have like a moral argument. I just think that it's very...
Just gives you the ick.
No. I
Okay.
think it's very ideal for a man and a woman to both marry somewhat younger and stay together. Because I just think like, oh my goodness, if I had dated a guy that was like 50 when I was 20, then by the time, yes, I can give him children, but then he's going to be like a decrepit old man. You know, he can't like play with the kids the same way. You know what I mean? He can't like go and do, not saying 50 is, but by the time the kid is 20 or whatever, he's like on his deathbed. You know what I mean?
So are you approaching it from what's most optimal?
Yeah,
What's most
I just
optimal?
think it's most, and a lot of people say reasons why they agree and why they think age gap relationships are good, and I can see those points, but I just think like seeing my husband playing with our kids and seeing like even just in the past 5 years, you know, he skateboarded and stuff like that a lot, you know, and like each year those things do get more challenging. You know what I mean? So like
That's valid.
doing all those things with your boys or with your kids, I think it's good for men to have kids young and for women to have kids young and
Yeah.
for them to stay together and raise the kids young.
I mean, I actually don't disagree with this, that probably the most optimal relationship.
If anybody's watching, if you guys want to comment, you're going to subscribe to the channel. I noticed that it started to jump up a little bit, and there's some you guys want to share or imply. Subscribe to the channel if you want to participate in the chat room. Fair use.
Dynamic will be when people are closer in age. But I don't think there's anything wrong with relationships where there is an age gap. But I do think it's probably most optimal when the age...
Oh, if you did subscribe to the channel right now, you gotta refresh the page so you get able to chat in the chat room. That's how it's supposed to work. Last time I checked. All right, let's keep going. Fairies.
Is the same.
Yeah, it doesn't give me the ick. And like, okay, my dad is divorced, and if he were to marry somebody slightly older than me or whatever, I'd be like, go ahead, like, go for it, Dad. That's great for you. But that's because he's divorced. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more ideal for a man and a woman.
Wait, is it more optimal? It's more optimal for the woman. Wait. Hold on. Let me think this one through. You go ahead while I ponder this.
I was going to say, I think it's most optimal for the man to be 5 to 10 years older.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, just because he's had more time to develop resources and had more time to become a better leader and a better member of society. And then for a woman, I don't think that's necessarily too relevant when it comes to having a family.
Yeah.
I think that youth is a good thing.
Yeah, I think if a guy marries or if a guy meets a girl young and doesn't have those resources, I don't think anybody should discourage him from wanting to marry
I'd say like getting young and having kids broke is fine. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I'd say optimally the guy would be a little bit more developed.
Yeah. I can say, okay, so I'm 36. I've had some younger guys approach me for dating.
Took some MILF.
And the thing is they can't lead me because I have more life experience than them. Mm-hmm. And I can do my best to support them, but it always creates power difference. Yeah, and so it's like trying to follow someone.
You can't really respect the guy if you feel like you're leading and you have more experience, you're making decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I've dated younger men that...
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying what I've seen is a lack of maturity. But whenever those same guys date a younger girl, she's even less mature when he has more life experience, so he can lead her, even though he's not exactly where he needs to be.
You know, I'm at the point with the talk about this leader nonsense. Let's be fair and honest. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Most majority of Western women don't want no man leading them, period. It sounds good. It sounds sweet. It sounds nice. But overall, when you look at the overall climate of the environment and how women are carrying out themselves, they are proven for their actions. They don't want to be led by no man, period. Unless the man suits and benefit them. Let that sit in. Let that linger on your head. Most majority Western women do not want to be led by no man. All right? Fair use.
Because he has more experience than her, it just kind of flows better. He has more respect.
I think
that it depends.
What's most optimal for the man is to date, like, if he's 30, would be to date like between 20 and 25.
Yeah.
But what might be most optimal for the woman, assuming she can find this sort of relationship she wants at this age, I do think it would actually be most optimal. I feel like I'm almost arguing against myself here. To date a guy 1-2 years older than her.
Yeah, or
I don't know
like
if that makes
4.
sense, but like just thinking about it.
I feel like 4 is a sweet spot.
Can we go around and ask for the people who are single what they think the most challenging thing about dating in this dating climate?
Well, I got to stay on the age gap thing for a little bit here, but we can get to that. So let's just even, for those of you who think that or do have some objections to age gap relationships, we can actually just go ahead and grant your objections.
I have an objection.
Well, hold on. So I'd like to hear, like, those of you who do object to age gap relationships, can you make a compelling argument in terms of the benefit to the man for why he should date, say, a 35-year-old over a 25-year-old? That's what I would like to hear. Go ahead.
I don't have an argument for that. I would argue that it's better to date a younger woman, especially if you value having a family and reproducing. Because from a biological standpoint, like, younger women reproduce better, I think.
Do you have anything? You?
No, I can't make an argument for the man. Like I said, like my dad wanted to date somebody significantly younger than him. I would be like, yeah, that's great for you. For her, though, she just has to know, you know, he's going to get older every year. And that's, you know, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
What was the thing that you wanted to come in on then?
I think the only time I think that there's something wrong with dating someone who is a lot younger is when there's no intention of marriage. So a lot of these guys, these older guys, they're like, I want an innocent woman. And they're like, that's why I want to date a young woman, but they're not marrying that woman.
What's wrong with that?
Got you. Got you. Got you.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Fair use, fair use.
Because they're like, well, if they plan on giving her children, if that's, I mean, if she doesn't want kids.
What if she does want kids?
And he's just going to give her kids and not marry her?
What's wrong with that?
That's terrible.
Why is that terrible?
I wouldn't concede to that. I mean, people can do what they want, but I would not want to have a child out of wedlock.
Okay. Well, what if she's fine with it?
Well, if she's fine with it, then and two adults can do what two adults do.
Right, but you seem, even if she's open to it, you still would object to a man who doesn't want to get married pursuing a woman who's, you know, he's 30, she's 20, something like that.
If she's not interested in marriage, so I think that young girls, I don't want to say are more easily manipulated. They are more malleable, which isn't a bad thing, especially not for a man. But I feel like he's robbing her of the marriage and the kids and all of that if he has no intentions of doing that. Now, if she genuinely does.
Now, I would concede that, yes, if a man's older and he's dating a younger woman, right, he could, if not careful, ladies, could waste your time, depending where this is going. Now, I'm not sure if I should really put this in a book, maybe, but I'll say this. What is the right time, or the time that if you're a woman and let's say you're really serious about marriage, where there should be a cutoff point? I would say the safe bet is 2 years. Now, if he's really intentionally telling his real intentions what he wants out of a relationship ahead of time, which, you know, most men are not going to keep it real transparent, because let's be honest, some men want sex and nothing's wrong with it. I think it's beautiful. You should not really entertain no further than maybe a few weeks. The same, regardless if he's able to keep you around him pulling out his pocket. And I'll be honest with you, ladies, it'd be better if a dude is really intentional. One thing he has hold against you is he's be able to provide a certain lifestyle in regards to finance and money to you. You still have to be the bigger person or adult to really cut that off, because your intention is look for somebody for a long term, and you should not be entertaining short-term relationships, especially man that's honest that he's only being with you for a fun and, you know, a fun time, and that's it. So keep that in mind. Fair use.
Does not want that, then that's on her. But I think a lot of young girls will be like, oh yeah, I don't want that, and then later on regret it, you know, that they didn't do it that way.
Yeah, I don't think the burden of responsibility is really on the guy there, because a lot of young chicks just want to go on boats and stuff, you know. They just want to go on boats and go traveling, and they get some older sugar daddy, and that's what they do. And then if they regret it later, it's like you should have had some foresight.
Well, that's kind of why I said too, I think that older men can sometimes be more easily manipulated instead of the other way around. Because when I was a younger woman and had a lot of older men hitting on me, I would kind of look at them like, granted, I wasn't in the best state of mind, but kind of like, these guys are like suckers. You know what I mean? And they're so like, oh, you're so cute and pretty and innocent. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, girls are never really like that. I'm not saying that they aren't, but I'm just saying, like, I remember thinking, like, they were almost more gentlemanly than guys your age that would be more like, look at you as, they look at you like you're a young, innocent girl. You know what I mean? And like guys your age look at you like a hookup or whatever.
But
I had to disagree, and the reason why I say is that it's not just women are younger women. Younger men, unfortunately, are also susceptible to manipulation as well. And how women manipulate younger men, well, you gentlemen know, they sit there, open up their legs, and give you that twat, and ride on you and make you go crazy in your head. That is the form of, or the great form of manipulation of younger men. For those that don't know, can you imagine that? Oh yeah. Oh yes, it's true. All right, fair use.
To your point, right? You just said like, oh, women in that younger age bracket are looking to be like on boats, partying, doing that stuff. So let's say that you have a guy between 25 and 30, and he's looking at women in the dynamic of 20 to 25, because that's what the ideal, and that's like when women are in their prime. But those women, statistically now, are not getting married and wanting to have kids because they're delaying that.
I think that the majority of them are completely not relationship material. Like, we walked around the streets last night of Santa Barbara in the IRL, and there wouldn't be one single one of those girls that we met last night that I'd even take on a date.
You guys should do it in Newport Beach.
You know?
Well, I mean,
Tried in Venice Beach.
So I guess that's my point is, right? Like, you're looking for the woman, not necessarily like you, because you said.
But you do get like girls in that age bracket who are more switched on and who do have better intentions. Though.
Dime in a dozen, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, shit, I had a follow up on that, but you were making a point like, also, women, they're more socially attuned than men. So this idea, like, I feel like women can navigate social situation. Like, isn't that a thing? Like, women are more mature, they mature faster, they mature at a younger age, mentally or whatever. So all this stuff about like these older guys taking advantage of younger women, like, women are way more socially calibrated than men.
I have sometimes looked at an older, yeah, exactly. I knew it was coming. I've sometimes looked at people and been like,
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I've looked at people and.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You done?
I'm done.
I've looked at people and been like, oh, you're just kind of a money bag. Like, I could get you. Like, I have done that, and I'm being honest. I was shopping at Erewhon, and some guy comes out, like an older guy. He looks at me. He goes, "Do I know you from somewhere?" or whatever. Starts hitting on me, and then he hands me $100 and said, "Can I buy you a smoothie?" And like, it's just
That's all it takes?
It happens. No, I gave my mom's number. Sometimes when I'm not interested in a guy, I'll
give
just
your mother's number.
Come on, man. What the fuck? Come on. Oh, hell no. Jeez. Oh my goodness. No, you did not do that. Kevin, what? Man, Yo, man.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
You cannot be serious. You know the best thing you could have done? You could have said no, thank you, and just quietly walk away. That would be the more honorable thing. Instead, give him not only a fake number, but give him your mother's number. Why would you do such a thing? That don't make no sense. Young ladies, listen to me good. Listen well. I don't care of your fear or anything like that. It is better to, if any man offers you anything, and I mean anything, it's better you kindly say no, thank you. Look at him, turn around, and walk away. Now, if he puts his hands on you, the best approach is to scream the living God out your mouth and raise hell, and that will draw attention to other people, including men. See, this is why I tell you most women don't use their foresight; they use common sense. If you feel that a man is gonna be threatening to the point where you can't sit there, say no, and turn and walk away respectfully, you got a lot of work to do. I think most people, if you're a woman, you should always, how can I put this? You must assess the potential threat if you're being approached. And you have to give out a certain better relaxing, or this word that's being thrown around here, feminine type of demure toward the male, so that way it kind of calms and takes the male off guard. You need to work on that, ladies. That will be more better suited than just giving out numbers and fake numbers, because that's just stupid. Make no sense. You want this loser call your mom? Come on, man, be better than that. Various.
She knows it's a joke. We're like close, and she just like it's just as a joke.
My mom would kill me.
Oh no, it's
kind
just
of a
a
yikes,
joke.
to be honest.
So then the guy, older guys sometimes just wanna,
What
he
about-
calls my mom. She goes, I don't know her. And then he goes,
we
well,
getting
you
a
sound
raid
kind of
from
cute
Andrew?
too. Can I get with you too, my mom, on the phone? Like just,
Bro is just out here looking for some.
yeah.
What about
He's
younger
like-
guys and older women?
I actually think
'Cause
this is an interesting
Sugar
one.
mama.
Whenever I see guys who get swindled by older chicks, I always think,
why did you say swindled though?
well, because look at Ian Gary, for example, who's a UFC fighter. He's like a 26-year-old dude who's shacked up with like a 40-year-old woman. And if he wants to do that, I mean, by all
Crucible.
means. But I think that young guys who have never been in a situation where they have a lot of options, if they get an attractive older woman, she can pretty easily wrangle him with sex. An inexperienced guy, and especially a guy like that who's coming up and who's going to be a world champion one day. I really think that like he got swindled. And there's also who's the One Direction.
He's saying what I just said earlier. That's how younger men get manipulated by older women, is by intercourse. He just said it right there. Did y'all get that? Did y'all heard that, guys? Ladies and gentlemen that's listening to the chat room, do y'all hear that? All right, good. Various.
Direction guy who's dating the older girl as well.
One Direction?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Chris?
Niall, Liam,
Wait, is he talking
One
about
of the One
Kristen?
Direction guys is
Harry
Styles?
No, it's not. It's
Laguna that's
another one.
dating
He's dating Cheryl
young
Cole.
guys.
I don't know.
Who?
It's on social media.
Anyways.
By the way,
But there's also
we got the Crucible raid. Hey, Andrew, I don't know if you're tuning in, but Andrew, I hope you had a good stream, man. That's Andrew Wilson.
There's also
Andrew
a number-
Wilson, I'm not
He's
mad.
doing
I'm
great.
disappointed not to see you.
There's a number of people
Andrew,
that
thank
also
you,
are
man.
into
Good to
MILFs.
see you, Crucible.
What's wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying you're saying swindle, but there's also guys that like that, like purposefully,
I think
like
that young
into it.
chicks have so many options that they're less likely to actually get manipulated by an older guy. Whereas I think
agree.
young guys who can be much more easily manipulated by pussy.
Oh, for sure.
Isn't that
I
what
don't
everybody
disagree with
says
that.
about Aaron Taylor Johnson and that one lady he's dating?
Sorry.
Isn't that what everybody
Who the
says?
fuck is that guy?
Sorry, who?
How do you not know who that is?
Aaron Taylor, what?
Johnson, look him up. He's
Who
dating
the
like
fuck is that guy?
he's dating like a 90-year-old lady, and he's like a very young, like attractive looking.
Well, that's a
That sounds like a fetish.
What about the president
Can't get
of
pregnant, though.
France?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Macron or
Yeah,
whatever.
isn't she like way?
She's.
Yeah,
Well, she was
whatever.
like the teacher.
Yeah,
she was
and-
the teacher
yeah.
or some shit. Like
Yeah, he
Lana
was-
Del Rey's dating an older guy, and she said it's age gap autumn.
Okay.
So
They've always got a freaking season for it, haven't they?
yeah, hot girl summer, brat summer, age
White
gap
boy
But
autumn.
like, it's interesting this whole like easier to manipulate thing. But what's interesting to me, like if we look at the financial component of some relationships, who's more likely to be spending money on the other person. So like, wouldn't that be a metric by which we could determine who's more easy to manipulate? If you're able to sucker a guy out of like $100 dinner, $1,000 dinner at, what's that, Nobu or whatever the fuck it is, men spend way more on money than women ever spend on money. So this whole argument of easier to manipulate, men are so desperate for women, they're willing to spend hard-earned money. Women are not willing to, generally speaking, to spend money in pursuit of getting a man. So,
shit, that's a lie right there, man. That's a lie right there. If you're a sugar mom, you're gonna have to pull out that purse, baby. You're gonna have to spend big bucks on the so-called attractive hunk male that you gaze your eyes with. Especially he looks attractive in the looks, and he has the muscles and the physique, which is the same, one and the same. You will gonna open that wallet. I'm sorry, you're gonna open that purse, sweetie, and you're gonna spend money on that gentleman. Or you're not get much access to that gentleman because that gentleman has more options than you. Because you're paying him, or you're gonna pay him for that potential access. Not saying a man will just, lust and give you his phallus. You're going to have to pay for that. So if you're a sugar mom, yes, you're going to be paying. Hell, a good portion of black women in this society are paying non-black men just for the possibility of relationship and marriage. Can you imagine that? Can y'all imagine that? Can y'all imagine that? Y'all agree, disagree? Let me know in the chat room. All right, let's keep going. Farious.
You could just make you could just make the argument
feel
that
like generally speaking,
men are easier to manipulate. They're so desperate that they're willing to spend money to get a woman. They're willing to spend money for their time, for their attention. Now, this is getting into the realm of prostitution, but women don't have this level of desperation. Like women, y'all can just go get some dick. You can get some male attention. Men, they're so, like for you, how desperate would you have to feel to be like, damn, I gotta pay money to get some dick? But like dudes do that.
Well, so I get with women too, as I've stated.
Yes, they're paying for the, yes, by all means, pay for it. You pay for everything else, your hair, your nails. I gotta find that broadcast. I did broadcast solely in detail of this. You're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna find that broadcast. I'm gonna find it. Anyhow, let's keep going. Farious.
So, like I'm saying, like if I go on a date with a girl, like it's not like the guy's paying. Obviously, there's no guy. So I'm saying like it's kind of it's a different ballpark.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is that men are much more motivated to try to get female attention, whether it be romantic or sexual, that they're willing to pay for it, which opens, if men, like, if you are kind of like lukewarm about something, it's very hard to manipulate you. Like if you're kind of like, I could take it or leave it, it's very hard to manipulate that type of person. But if you're a dude and you're like, I am willing to throw my fucking life away for pussy, you can manipulate that guy. Yep. That's easy to manipulate. Mm-hmm. That level of desire, and men have a much higher sex drive. Men are much more motivated. Men are much more motivated than women are when it comes to this. So if you're more motivated, if you have a higher desire, you have a higher drive for something, then it's easier to manipulate you.
Yeah.
So all you women are fucking predators. You're all fucking predators. Even if you're dating a man your age, you're all fucking predators. Okay, I don't know.
Did that feel cool?
What's that?
Did that feel cool?
Fluff, fluff?
Did it feel cool?
Cool?
Yeah.
Did what feel cool? My little rant or whatever?
Yeah. You feel better?
I feel better now.
Oh,
Thanks,
good.
babe. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
So let's see. We got to get through your notes. So
Okay.
you... Chill out, bro. Let's see. You said that you're a businesswoman who believes in traditional values, but thrust.
Okay.
Oh, let me stop right there. Let me. I'm gonna fast forward now. 623. Hey, Trisha Boss Babe Ross. I don't want to look at that. Jake test for first dates. They want simps. All right, let's look at this thing about they want the simps. That's a good one right here. I'm not go by no screwing date. All right, here we go. Here we go. Fairies.
And the idea that we're supposed to know, but then at the same time, we clearly don't know. Like there's lots of people who don't know how to do the date thing, and you want to have that level of interest, like just you, because you
let's rewind
want.
that back.
Yeah, if you don't like me on the second or third date before this.
No, seriously, I'll ask
With
them
that-
like pick me up from the airport.
Like,
Yeah, that's why. That's another reason why I ask people to, or at least like maybe like come meet me.
We're gonna listen to this part about the first date. Let's hear Kristen's side of first date. Let's listen to her.
Where I am, you know?
Would-
because
would-
I find if they don't want to make the effort, then often it signifies that they're really entitled. So
Would you pick the girl up if she asked you first date?
it depends. Depends where we were. If it was in my city, and if they came to my city, and if I'd been
No,
talking
just
to them,
like you had plans and she's like, let's say you were here, you live here, she's coming home from New York, but you had plans to meet that day. She's like, oh, I got home, will you pick me up and we hang out?
yeah, sure. If I have a car, if I'm in a city where I have a car, I'm a nomad, so I don't have a car.
Sure.
So,
Was
yeah,
there,
definitely.
was there a question for me here, or what? About the laundry shit, or what?
Yeah, no, I just think that it's for the amount of responsibility women have in choosing the right partner. We need more than just one date and just be like you. And the idea that we're supposed to know, but then at the same time, we clearly don't know. Like there's lots of people who don't know how to do the date thing, and you want to have that level of interest, like just you, because you want it. And the thing is that there's
So if you're talking about first date, all right, that's good. You need to go on multiple dates. All right, let's have that conversation. I'm not sure if the old man or anybody asked this question to the ladies. So how many dates do you want to go on before you make a decision to go fully in and agree with this relationship? If the man decides to make you more than just a friend, or how many dates does it require? Matter of fact, the biggest question that should be on the table is, if you're going on a date, are you going to be giving this man intercourse on the first night? Especially if he's paying out of his pocket? Because now you're talking about a man investing money. Because this is not courtship. This is just messing around. Courtship is when you're serious and saying, I'm looking for something. Do you have something that I required? Or, you're looking for something that you're requiring, look for a mate? These are the questions to be asked. Are you wasting people's time? And most women waste a lot of people's time with all these fruitless dates that the man spent out of his pocket. So if you're really a serious woman, then by all means, like I think it was the old man said, or whoever said, you pay for a good portion of the dates. And after you're serious, then he's going to start paying. How's that? All right, let's listen in to this thing about these date requirements, and you're not certain about if you find your match in the first date. Let's listen to this garbage. Fairies.
so much. Well, because you guys both agree. So
I
I'm talking to
agree.
the both of you.
I think that Brian's completely right.
Oh, and before we continue, let me check what's going on with the likes. I've not checked it in a while. Hold on. Let me see what I can find. Let me see. All right. I guess we're doing fine in likes. We could do more likes. If you guys watching, hit the like button. Likes are free. So hit the like button. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
We want to see burning desire from the day dot.
Yeah,
And if
but
they
see,
don't,
that's-
and if they don't do that, and if they're iffing about you, then it means that there's something about you they don't particularly like. And you don't want that.
Well,
Oh yeah, I don't want.
okay,
I don't want a fence sitter chick who's like on the.
Can I
I need
tell
to
you
go
guys
on like
a
3
quick
more
story?
dates before I've made a determination. You haven't even fucking met me and you're. I was about to say in love with me, but maybe not. Okay, that's a bit much.
But so you like that. You like to have that high level where she's like
Matt,
ready to say I love you.
worship,
Wow.
obsession, not stalker.
I think it would be good to like
Not fucking
instead
stalker.
of putting a time on something,
Yeah.
just like let things like
Happen.
flow. So it's not like
No flow.
don't say.
No flow.
Listen, Brian, that's not truthful because you would rather it flow.
I
than a
don't
game.
think you understand. We want simps.
I want a girl.
Yeah.
I want
Right,
a
but
girl
again,
to be a simp.
these are-
I don't
what
want.
I'm
I don't want
saying
anything.
is letting it
games.
flow. Like I'm agreeing. Like it's not 3 dates, 2 dates, or whatever it may be, but just let things happen the way that they're supposed to.
And the
so
way
you're
that it's
not-
supposed to happen is that we're meant to go on the first date,
Whatever,
and you're meant to
Jake.
be, and you're meant to be simpy, and it's meant to mean a
Okay,
lot to
I'm
you.
gonna.
that-
I feel like honestly
I
that's
I don't even know what a simp.
Go off, King.
Simp.
Go off,
Simp
King.
means unrequited attention.
Unrequited attention.
So you don't want to
Wait.
require?
that means that they're like pining for this man
Yes.
And do you
24/7 all
She
the
needs
time.
with
to be
that
obsessed.
level of interest?
Simping is like totally like
depends on you.
obsessed
Hold on, we have
with
to get
someone,
one
like, oh my
person
God, I
speaking at a
need
time.
them.
I just
So
think that that's a
simping is-
very unrealistic expectation considering you guys yourselves say that women have way more options than men do. So how are you expecting that you're going to find this woman
Yes,
who is
exactly. So
obsessed,
if
obsessed
they're,
with
more
you?
valuable.
If they're not simping, it means that they're out here playing the field and they've got all these different options, and you
I'm
don't really
not.
mean much to them.
I'm not.
But that you're
girl's
not
gotta
actively
Get with the
dating.
ugly
But
girl.
when
Girls gotta say-
when I am with someone, I am all like.
Let me ask you
that's
guys
it,
something.
All in.
In the dating phase.
There you go.
No, I am. If I'm in a relation,
No,
I'm
no.
like.
Me too.
No. All in
Dating.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
All in
When I'm, if I
immediately.
commit like that.
Okay.
yeah.
But that's how women.
All
But
in.
I'm saying like right now, I haven't.
I want you to
dated.
show up at my front
Alright,
door
go
after
ahead,
the
zone
first
right
date.
now.
but I
I
wanna-
want after one
Okay,
date, she's
so
supposed
you want
to
me to,
Wait,
like,
one
follow
at
you
a
back?
time.
I
One
wanna
at a
get
time.
your
over
question.
and like get on her knees for you for after
Wait,
one
play the
date?
bow video. Play the bow
Just
video.
got his face.
Yes. Woman, you must get on your knees now. You must submit to the man. Not just on the second, third date, but officially. You feel me? You feel me? You have to submit. The men's not gonna tell you this, but I'm telling you personally, that's what they want. That is the intention. All right, so where are we? Okay, let me go to the DV scenario. All right, let's play more of this. We're going to the DV part.
Favorite part.
Play the
I want
bow.
that
And
bow.
I think you need a new
Date
bow
two.
video because this one.
Here,
it's
why don't you?
kinda-
All right, we're gonna skip. Wait.
We eventually got married, and
No, ain't about it. Let's go to
God.
DV.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
The gender war is toxic. Both sides are ignoring the root cause and they're lying.
I
We
said it
now
as a
have a
joke.
shot at marriage and a family. Men can be mad all they want, but the reality is feminism ruined women and porn ruined men.
Mm-hmm.
Public schools ruined both. I made a short video on how schools empower girls and emasculate boys.
Yes.
This is exactly why I homeschool my son, and I make a lot of sacrifices in order to do so.
Yep.
I would have a very different financial situation. Your child did not decide to be born. Promised myself I would stay home with my children before I had kids. Unfortunately, my son's father became an alcoholic, which has made him into a person I don't recognize, so I'm essentially doing it on my own. Unlike most single mothers, though I do want a man as a head of household, but a good man, I recognize that when I choose my partner, my biggest mistake was choosing a man who didn't have a relationship with God.
Yep.
Okay.
A genuine relationship with God, not just I believe in God and God doesn't really care what I do. Like a genuine fear of God. So yeah.
The gender war is toxic. Both sides are ignoring the root cause and their own flaws. You also said how women leave good relationships over feelings and statistics. How we discuss this, how and statistics are thrown out about women being the initiators of
I mentioned
divorce.
that earlier,
But when you
too,
dive
yeah.
deep into those statistics and you remove the ones from abuse, infidelity, and abandonment, it's a lot closer to 50-50. You were a biotech major, and I'm really good with statistics because I had to use it a lot in my field. Statistics are a good way to manipulate people if they don't understand them. And as much as I am for traditionalism, I'm for honesty and looking at the genuine picture and climate of society. I mean, I'm not sure how you came to it being 50-50.
I said closer to. So when you remove, and remember earlier about the 23, I believe it's 23% with abuse. Even if you removed a third of that, because people claim abuse and it's not really abuse. But even if you look at these statistics, it is closer to 50-50 unless you're getting into the higher education. Then it is very much so skewed on the women's side. The higher the education, the more likely she is.
Well, what do you think about this one? So if you look at the incidence of divorce in homosexual relationships, so the incidence of divorce is the lowest amongst gay relationships. Then you have heterosexual relationships is in between. And then at the very top, when it comes to divorce rates, it's lesbians who have the highest divorce rates. So when you have two women, divorce rates are the highest. Two men, divorce rates are the lowest.
So what he's saying, and I never did content on this, especially, I could be wrong, but it's telling that they said that when we talk about the heterosexual marital part, it's somewhat high. Okay. But when you ladies are messing around with the same gender and are not able to get married here in America, your divorce rate is even higher than heterosexual marriage. So it makes me think that the problem is really you. You can't pair bond and make any real relationship work, ladies. Especially when it comes to black folks, black women especially. It's very much telling of why these relationships end. But anyhow, fairies.
Is this the quit? Is it the quit?
Do you want me to?
No, you have to just stay there and sit the whole time. Maybe we'll get a bow later. Is it a quit? Are you?
No, but do you want me to? Because you keep asking me.
What do you mean?
Like, you want me?
No, I think we'll eventually get you to crack and admit that you're a
Oh my god.
escort slash prostitute slash.
Do you just want to discuss it while I leave? So we can talk about it.
It's not going to happen
If you leave,
because
it's not going to get discussed.
So wait, is this a quit or are you
She's
coming?
probably getting up to use the bathroom.
I'm just seeing if I can get some food after this. I was gonna text.
I was gonna
text my manager.
Wait, so is it a quit or what? It's a quit. Is it the quit?
I feel like you're wanting me to by asking that. I don't want to be like disrespectful to the panel.
Oh no, I'm not asking. Go ahead, sit there and enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, let me just. You ready?
Let's see if she's gonna lie about this.
So back to that.
Let's see if she's lying about this.
I
too.
would say that a majority of lesbians are feminist, and I have already expressed that I am an anti-feminist. I do not agree with feminist ideas, and I think that most of the women who, like you said, women who say, oh, this is abuse when it's really not abuse, I would say a majority of them are feminist. Now with homosexuals, two gay males, they also tend to have open relationships and they can essentially fuck whoever they want. So I don't think really comparing that is, I don't think it's a good comparison.
Are you saying they're more likely to stay together because they have open relationships?
Because they're both men and they just want to fuck.
I think that I mean, I don't know what it's like with the gays, but I think generally open relationships tend to not work.
Well, that's good.
You know what we need to do? We need to do. We need to do a little. Once she's definitely coming back.
You know, that open relationship thing, and I'm going to say this because most people not going to survive to this point of the stream. when it comes to what they call same sex, it is very dangerous. And what I mean dangerous, because people that are not so eager or like to engage in what they call relationships with a man or woman that likes to dabble with the same sex can be detrimental psychologically and in your physicality in the long run. If you notice why the STD rate is so high in certain communities, is because not only of the diet, but also the sexual practices, rituals. People are engaged in eating or deal with the toilet. And that's just as PG I'm gonna get. I'm gonna let you daydream and fantasize on that. Anyway, let's keep going. Fairies.
We're gonna wrap
or use your imagination.
Wrap the show up soon. We need to do a roast session. Any final thoughts from any of the panelists? I know you maybe had a couple questions. We might not be able to do all of them.
Oh, it's okay.
All right. Let me see anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Types, body counts. Man, all right. That's it. I'm not gonna go any further. That's it. Anything else on this tape is not really stimulating. Hope you guys enjoyed this. There's some things that the pink pill went in more in regards to the political stuff, the relationships, but the whole point overall of this stream is that she still wants to be relevant throughout certain parts of the digital space. And one of the few things I find ironic, like most people, she does mention Kevin in a very negative way, which is expected because she's a woman, black woman. And you as a black man, if you're out here producing the same content and stuff that people are not liking or find to be problematic, you're not gonna have friends. Matter of fact, you're gonna create more enemies with this type of content, personally. Kevin had hundreds and thousands of women day in, day out, not only watched his show, but also called in because they want a different outcome, a different result. And he gave them the obvious outcomes and results, And I'll put the link. I'll put the call link anyway. I thought anybody's gonna come on. And the results they want is they want a very much top tier man of value and money, so they could engage in basketball housewife fantasies or live like the upper, like, how I say keeping up with the Jones? Well, they want to be like the upper Jones of society. Most majority of women today want to be able to have their great independence and spend your money. Well, no problem. And if kids come in the picture, that's just a so-called bonus to them. But overall, they didn't want to even raise the kids they have now. They mostly forward that responsibility to either daycare or grandparents, if their grandparents still around. Let's think on that. So for her, just to recap again, why she had her issues with Kevin and this high value piece, she has no really skin on this game. She has nothing of anything of value to make remarks on it, because as you listen more into this second part of this conversation, she's not very much astute of the political process. But you want to have an opinion, at least have a clear understanding of how the politics work. If I don't know how the political system work, I rather don't really talk much about it personally, unless I sit there, scroll and look it up and read it right there in front of y'all. But really, I'm not gonna sit there, say things and blurt out a whole bunch of stuff on feelings. No, if either I know or I don't know, I'm not gonna do that. And if you think about it, a man saying it will look stupid, foolish. Like literally, he would look foolish doing that. Well, because we deal with a lot of women and they want to go and blurt out nonsense in front of the whole world goes back to replay of this and see, what's this talking about? She needs to be quiet in regards to why you should participate. No, nothing is given to you unless you fought for it. If someone gives it to you freely, they're gonna eventually take it away from you with a snap of the Thanos fist. I mean, sorry, snap with a snap with a Thanos hand or finger. So overall, this was a good stream. I give credit to the people of the Whatever podcast in their works. It's very intriguing. I cover a few things on their podcast in past. I might do more in future, depending on someone of a certain content creator or wherever it's on there. If it really is something that will bring attention, I will cover it. But overall, what they're doing their thing, And like I said, like most podcasters, they have create the conversation, and that's all that's expected. You need to create the conversation at the end of the day for people that have the discussion, and I think these gentlemen did a great job. All right, that's it, guys. If you like what you see in the stream, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the Chaos Range Show, and the links to follow me are the above. Hold on. All right. The links to follow me above. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. You can add me a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. You could join my Discord service, which is pinned or put in the chat room and also in the description of this video. Also, become a member of the channel. There's a join button on this channel. There's 2 tiers. Become a member. I will put some content very soon on there, so please become a member. Also, follow my Rumble page as well. My Rumble handler is CRain23. Is my Rumble handler. So join me on Rumble. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for watching today's stream. Make sure to leave a comment. And also, like this video. Likes go far in the algorithm, so please like the video. I'm looking forward to reading the comment section of this. Thank y'all. Until next time, thank y'all.